Lots of support, lots of love on the and of course the fans. They have sent letters, postcards, cards, and of course gift baskets to Andy Reid, who says he is overwhelmed. Well, Eagles quarterback Michael Vick says he's dedicating this season to Garrett Reid and of course Andy Reid. That is our report from the field. Let's go upstairs to Scott and Brian.
All right, thank you, Jeff. And captains meeting at the center of the field right now for the coin toss and to begin this one. And once again, Brian, in this week that was, there is so much that has gone on emotionally. Some of those emotions are going to remain for a very, very long time. And yet, you turn the page to a certain degree because there is a game to be played and a season to be had.
And that's really where it starts tonight, Scott, in my mind. I mean, Andy Reid, everybody that visited with them sent their condolences to him and his family this week, said that he was a rock. And he said that Garrett Reid would want him coaching tonight, and so that's what he's doing. And this is all part of the healing process. It's therapeutic. It's a way to take his mind off it. But there's also a job to do. And this offseason, Andy Reid was probably the most relaxed he's ever been. He really feels good about this team. He feels good about the weaknesses that they filled. And it was just filled with such promise. It's a shame what happened, but I think this game will begin the healing process, and I think this team will carry on.
Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, perennial contenders, of course, in the AFC. And Mike, along with both Rooneys who are here, actually made the trek from their locker room to the Eagles locker room before anything began tonight to say some good words to and give their best wishes to Andy Reid.
And, you know, I spoke with Andy myself at midfield before the game, and he just really welcomes all of the thanks, all of the prayers. I mean, I knew Garrett. He was a kid that had a big smile, a warm heart. Mike Vick spent the offseason working out with him. He was a friend of the team, and I think Mike Tomlin and the Rooneys are just sharing, you know, their heavy hearts with Andy.
To take the kickoff, Alex Henry, we are ready to go here in the opener, and a lot of questions still to be answered. A lot of promise here in this 2012 season. And Rainey's going to watch that one fly right on by as the Steelers are going to begin from their own 20-yard line. Michael Vick, you just saw a moment ago. Here's his timeline.
Well, you know, Mike Vick basically just got signed 3 years ago, almost to the day, in the opening preseason game, and he was a third team in the Wildcat quarterback that year. Then he was the backup to Kevin Cobb, and, you know, he took over in the first game against Green Bay. Then last year he was a starter, but there was no off-season. And so now this is the first off-season that Mike Vick has had.
Now the other quarterback is in the ballgame now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger has been nursing a shoulder injury. Going to come out firing on first down. And Isaac Redman out of the backfield, out across the 25-yard line to the 26. Ryan Roll making the tackle, getting the start along the Eagles defense.
Both starting defensive ends are out tonight, Jason Babbitt and Trent Cole. So Cullen Jenkins is moving out the end. Antonio Dixon at tackle. Daryl Tapp at the other end. Brian Roll inside along with D'Amico Ryans. And then Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie back at left corner where he excelled as an Arizona Cardinal and should this year. And here he is up at the top.
Lineups brought to you by AAA. Your AAA card useful in ways you might not expect. Beside roadside assistance, we offer auto insurance. Here's the hand to Redmond, and he's going to get chased down. No gain on the play. Michael Kendricks making his first impression a good one as he helped us stuff the run.
Well, D'Amico Ryans was a guy that was drafted by the Houston Texans, and here he is right in the middle. And in 2006, he was the Rookie of the Year coming out of Alabama. And he was the undeniable leader of the Texans throughout that time that he was there. And he tore his Achilles 2 years ago. Spent the year kind of coming back last year, but he wants to prove that he can be an every down linebacker here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And here he is in third down on the field.
That's the tight end Heath Miller in motion for the Steelers on third down. Roethlisberger got an open man, and he's got himself a first down. Held out of the backfield, David Johnson, a fullback and tight end, making the catch. And a first down as the Steelers move the sticks out to the 34.
The Steelers really favor a lot of those bunch formations where they line up tight and then they get wide at the snap. You saw an example there of the speed of Michael Kendricks to come out and make that tackle on the tight end. Now, they got the first down, but you're going to see this guy go sideline to sideline now. I mean, he has a chance to really make a lot of tackles in this defense.
He has been so impressive in camp. With a man in motion on first down for the Steelers. Opening drive of the game. And Redmond out to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 5. D'Amico Ryans with the tackle for the Eagles.
You know, the Steelers really are a good first opponent because they're a heavy tight end team, fullback. There they are just coming downhill with straight power. Redmond filling in for Rashard Mendenhall, still recuperating from a knee injury last year. But this is good work for this defense right here. A good, powerful team coming right at him, going nose to nose. And there's Fletcher Cox, the first-round pick. It's good. It's big on big inside right now.
Working out of a 2 tight end set on second down. Off play action. They set it up again for Johnson. And he's going to have first down yardage out to the 45. Very close to the vest early on for the Steelers, but the power game certainly is working for them.
Well, you know, Ben Roethlisberger came out just a couple weeks ago and said that he has a separated shoulder from last year, and everybody said, well, what do you mean you have a separated shoulder? What happened in the offseason? He's just, you know, so big and so tough and so used to playing with injuries. This is, like I said, the Steelers are a great first opponent. They're tough. They're proven. They run the ball well, and they got a proven leader in Roethlisberger, a guy that the Eagles' speed is going to have to try to contain tonight.
Brandon Graham into the game now. Did not get the start, but in here on this first series. Young man who's trying to make a big impression here this preseason. And the throw to the outside complete to Antonio Brown, coming off a super year last year. He's got it down to the Eagles' 48-yard line before being chased out of bounds by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Well, you see how quickly Ben Roethlisberger is getting rid of the football. It's a quick strike offense. It's underneath. The ball's getting out quick. And so the Eagles got to start learning how to play against the speed. This Antonio Brown here, it's just a just a bow out. And Roethlisberger on a semi-roll. The ball's out so quick, Scott. And that's really what this league is about. How quickly can you affect the quarterback? And that's where Brandon Graham has got to show up here in this defensive front, trying to put pressure on him in such a quick, short period of time.
Second down and 3. Big rush coming. Got it. And the ball is loose. Steelers recover. Mike Adams jumped on top of it, but Philip Hunt gets to the quarterback quickly.
And I tell you, he beat a good left tackle to do it. And Philip Hunt was the star of the offseason last year. And there he is. He's being held on the outside, but he still beats the hole. And they could have called a flag on that. And he gets the Roethlisberger, and he gets the ball out. That is a tremendous play off play action by Philip Hunt. And I tell you, Jim Washburn, the defensive line coach, this defensive line group of the Eagles, they got as much camaraderie as any defensive line in this league.
After the 6-yard loss at third down and long, and now, you know, the defense gets an opportunity to salivate here to come after Roethlisberger. Here they come. And Roethlisberger, doing what he does best, gets away. Looks like it's going to be spotted just shy of first down yardage on the catch by Chris Rainey.
A great hit by Joselio Hansen, the nickelback. That's the third defensive back on the field. And Roethlisberger did his great job. He climbs the pocket.
Out. He's going to challenge that spot. It really looks like he's holding it.
Yeah, one of the officials called it a first down, the others didn't. We'll take a break and figure it out.
Here by the Steelers, and good work for the Eagles here on this fourth and short. See if they can stop it.
And Mike Shepard, the referee, getting his first opportunity to talk to the crowd here this evening, following the official review and the look under the hood.
Ruling on the field stands. Philadelphia will be charged their first team timeout. Fourth down.
That would be Pittsburgh being charged their first team timeout.
Well, these officials are unofficial officials. The official officials are right now. They're locked out. They're going through a contract negotiation. So we've got backup officials in there. So
after Hansen
and a half here, Scott.
After Hanson's big play, you know, they're going to be a big package in here for the Steelers. They got plenty of tight ends in camp to choose from. They've got 5 of them in all, and they've got 3 of them on the field here right now.
Yeah, they're heavy to the right side right now.
Redmond the lone setback on 4th down and short. And it is Redmond, and he's got it. First down yardage to the 43-yard line on what is the 9th play of this opening drive for Pittsburgh.
Well, they did a good job of penetration, but Redmond, good penetration in the middle from Dixon and Landry, but really poor support on the outside here. Redmond read this correctly. See, Brian Rowe left his feet. He kind of dove blindly on that play. You'd kind of like to keep your feet and keep yourself alive in case he does cut back. Once you give your feet up, Scott, you give up the ability to make that tackle should he cut it back like that.
That's a fine line to walk because you do have to take off as the runner is taking off in order to meet him halfway. From the 43, the man in motion is Brown. And right back to the ground. Hard running and a good tackle by Asamoah inside the 40-yard line. Once again, a 4-yard pickup on first down for the Steelers.
And really, the key ingredient here to this Eagles defense is, are they going to tackle better than they did a year ago? And that goes hand in hand with being tougher. And that's a good tackle in the open field by Nnamdi here, because this guy, Ike Redmond, is a load now. You watch him from the waist down. I mean, he is an NFL back that has tremendous power. So good open field tackle by Nnamdi on that.
Redmond got some time last year due to the injury to Rashard Mendenhall. The lead back for the Steelers still not back. Not active for tonight's game. Roethlisberger's got a rush coming. In some trouble, and down he goes. Darryl Tapp got him. Derek Landry was the first one to get there to force him to the inside.
Well, good inside rush by Landry, which really forced Roethlisberger to step up. I mean, here's Landry here. He's going to get penetration, and then Tapp is going to fall off. You see, Landry beats his guard clean. That forces Roethlisberger to step up, and now really Tapp cleans up, and this is what they want. You see, once Roethlisberger's head goes down, he's no longer looking down the field. So second sack tonight. Now what they have to do is really pin their ears back and not let them get this first down. They got him where they want him in 3rd and long.
Showing a straight 4-man rush here on 3rd down and 11 for the Steelers.
Press coverage on the outside.
They're coming again. And Roethlisberger gets away, finds the open man for first down yardage. Emmanuel Sanders stepped out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Nonetheless, the escapability of Ben Roethlisberger producing another Steelers first down.
Look, he's made a great living doing just that because they get the penetration that they wanted. Now they've got to finish the play. See, Brandon Graham runs into Derek Landry, and it frees him up. Now, right there, indecision on Nnamdi's part, and really, they were short a man. I mean, somebody had to come. There was an open receiver there. Somebody had to get over there, and that's what quarterbacks that can extend plays do. They break down your defense, and that's exactly what Roethlisberger did. Second big 3rd down conversion on this drive.
He is 6 out of 6 for 50 yards on the drive, and the toss to the outside on the 13th play of the drive is to Redmond, bottled up on that right side.
And I was down in the field before the game, Scott. You got to wear your sponge underwear tonight. I mean, you got to wring it out. This defensive line is rotating about every 2
tense camp up at Lehigh to this point, and it was designed that way.
Well, it was because the team had to get tougher. So Andy put the team in full pads every afternoon with 2.5 to 3 hour practices, building up their conditioning and trying to make them tougher. That's what practice has been designed to do.
On 2nd down and 10, Jonathan Dwyer in the backfield now for the Steelers. Roethlisberger trying for it all, and overthrowing his intended receiver Sanders. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie right there with him step for step on the far sideline.
Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie has been at every practice this year. His coverage is excellent. Inside out right here. He's going to turn and run with Sanders, who's got great speed. Gets his right arm on him. He's forcing him to the sideline. Only a perfect throw could beat that coverage on that play.
That is fullback and tight end David Johnson, who is down. A timeout on the field with 6:29 to go here in the first.
About, Scott, can you get off the field on third down? Last year the Eagles were pretty good, 35%, which was amongst the league's leaders in getting off the field. You get another opportunity here on this opening drive.
Steelers are 2 out of 3 so far on third down, and they are now down one fullback. They really only have one fullback left on the depth chart for tonight. Across the 6-minute mark, left to go here in the first quarter. Roethlisberger finding his man, and nowhere to go for Rainey is Rogelio Hansen once again right there in coverage.
Rogelio Hansen has again distinguished himself, and he's been a valuable member of Juan Castillo's defense. But I thought the quick pressure, the collapsing pocket by the defensive front without any blitzing, forced Roethlisberger to get that ball out of his hands quickly, and then good tackle in the open field.
Well, the Steelers now going to try a field goal attempt. Sean Sweezum, in his 8th year out of Bowling Green, take a shot from 46 yards out. Plenty of leg, and it is good. So a long drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers to start things off. Andy Reid's team and defense on the field for a long time, but they turn Pittsburgh away with just a field goal. Early lead for the Steelers here in South Philadelphia.
He gets an opportunity to bring one out because he has impressed me throughout training camp so far. A very mature and explosive player.
Michael Vick almost caged there on the sidelines. Guys have been waiting for so long to get out and an opportunity in that long Steelers drive to begin this game. Keeping the Philly offense on the sideline for the time being. Boykin some 8 yards deep in the end zone. And look out! Out across the 35 and to the 38-yard line. Great blocking and explosive play from Boykin. 46 yards on the kick return.
He had to beat his own man coming 8 yards out of the end zone. But I'm telling you, this kid is going to impact this team in a lot of different ways, and we saw an example on his first touch in the NFL.
Maris Johnson getting an opportunity early here out on the field along with Deshaun Jackson and Jason Avant as the starting receivers. And right out of the chute, it's Johnson, the rookie out of Tulsa, with the catch out across the 40 to the 42.
It's important to revisit here this timeline of Mike Vick. It was almost 3 years ago to the day that he signed with the Eagles. And that year he was basically third quarterback Wildcat. 2 years ago he came out and took over for Kevin Cobb the opening game of the season. Last year he was a starter, but no offseason. This year he started his offseason February 1st, and I think it's going to make a difference with his command of this offense.
And there is truly no doubt about who the leader of this offense is. There's McCoy trying to find the corner. And Shady knocked out of bounds by Larry Foote out of the 41-yard line, a loss of about a yard.
What a year for Shady McCoy last year. He scored 20 offensive touchdowns, 17 rushing, 3 receiving, and he's everybody's fantasy pick this year, at least one of the top 3 players, and he's got to play at that level this year. And that's his challenge now with the new contract, to come back and back that up again.
Start talking about the year he had. How about rushing-wise? The 4th greatest in Eagles history.
Yeah, I mean, it's the number of explosive plays that he created was an example of how this offense can score on anybody from anywhere. He's checking the whole defense here with those eyes moving.
And Vick doesn't like what he sees. He called for the timeout. I don't know that he got it. He did. Just before the flag was thrown for delay of game. Eagles go to the drawing board here, coming up on third down on their first drive of the game.
From around the league, there's really not many people like him in the league in the way that he's thought of from both the East Coast and the West Coast and all over.
After the timeout, third down, they've got to get it to the 48. Vick's got pressure coming. Dancing out of the way, but can't get entirely out of the way. And Steve McClendon with the sack all the way back to the 34-yard line.
Well, Pittsburgh showed a max blitz look, but they only rushed 4, and it was actually picked up pretty well. See, there's only a 4-man rush there, so they drop into coverage. And now right there, Mike's just got to settle his feet. If he's going to take off, he's got to be able to outrun the nose tackle, McClendon, on that play. So Pittsburgh won just by scheme there, showing an 8-man front, but dropping 7 into coverage, only rushing 4.
And now Matt McBriar getting his first opportunity. Two-time Pro Bowler and All-Pro selection. Didn't quite turn over for him, but Rainey call and make the play at the 24. It looked like he was going to put the arm up and then went with the catch and the run out to the 30. Kurt Coleman with the tackle on special teams. A 43-yard punt, a 6-yard return as the Steelers get ready again. This is a different type of a feel for this year, Brian, and this team was at it right from the very beginning. In fact, from before the beginning, back on March 21st, as the veterans called themselves together to begin working out at the University of Pennsylvania.
And they did that because in the new collective bargaining agreement, they couldn't start workouts until the beginning of April. So they were in there in March. Mike Vick was in the NovaCare Center February 1st, working out almost daily. And so this team came together during that period when they were locked out because of the CBA.
Byron Leftwich now in the ball game, and he has the ball stripped away. It is recovered once again by Mike Adams. He's already recovered a pair of fumbles early on, but how about Philip Hunt and the pressure he's getting here early on?
Well, he's schooling the rookie left tackle from Ohio State. There's Brandon Graham coming from the right side right now. He gets some pressure coming outside, but that's Hunt coming from the left side, beating Mike Adams. That's the second time he's beat Adams and forced a fumble, and Adams picked up the loose ball. Here he is on a wide loop.
Wow.
I'm telling you, that type of rush is something this kid showed flashes of last year, but already this season, 2 forced fumbles in the first quarter.
He's the all-time sack leader at the University of Houston, so you know he knows how to get upfield. Second down and a bunch now, and they're going to play close to the vest as they give it to Dwyer. Kicking outside, Rogers Cromartie is there. Couldn't make the initial hit, but help arrives out of the 24.
You know, that Philip Hunt, it's an interesting story. He was with Cleveland, and things didn't work out. Came out of Houston, and here he is on the outside. But here's a guy that went to the Canadian Football League just to get reps, and the Eagles were on him. They liked him. They just thought at 250 pounds he was too small to play. But in Jim Washburn's scheme, size doesn't matter. Speed is what matters. And this kid is following the techniques that Washburn is teaching, and he's getting immediate results on the field.
Third down, they've got to get it all the way out to the 40. Leftwich, more trouble coming. And a late throw, incomplete. Late flag, and I believe that is thrown right toward the quarterback. That's probably going against the Eagles.
Yeah, well, it's the right call, too. Because you're going to see Leftwich come out here, throws the ball, and then he launched there on that play. And that's what it was, launched right to the head.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 23, 15 yards, first down.
That play is just not going to be tolerated in this league. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie's been in the league too long, and that's going to get flagged on every level, Scott. It's going to be flagged in high school, college, and every Sunday or every Thursday night in the NFL. A launch, shoulder right to the head. I mean, it's the right call. Player safety is paramount here in this league.
And the key is launch, leaving your feet in order to deliver that blow.
Yeah. And look, I love the physicality that Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie is showing, because the corner that was there for a long time, Asante Samuel, would never do that. But you got to do it under control.
Well, the penalty gives the Steelers the first down at the 39. Waning seconds here, inside a minute to go in the first quarter. Look at that move to the inside. And Antonio Brown still on his feet. Going to get wrestled down across midfield. Another Steelers first down. Darryl Tapp coming all the way from the defensive line to make the tackle.
Well, Antonio Brown is the lead receiver for Pittsburgh right now with a big fat contract that he just received in place of Mike Wallace, who's not here. And he beat Nambi inside, and Nambi can't let him get inside. He's lined up inside of him on that play, and he can't let him get inside for that slant.
And the Steelers are going to allow this first quarter to wind down on a very warm, humid night here in Philadelphia. The Steelers have certainly played ball control offense with 6 first downs and a field goal to show for this first quarter of play. One down and 3 to go here at Lincoln Financial Field in the first preseason game of the year. Everybody feeling their way, and some initial impressions have been spectacular. And to 1, 3-0, Steelers on top. $3-0 Steelers as we begin the second. Green Mountain Energy. Our mission is to change the way power is made using wind, sun, and water for good. Switch to Green Mountain Energy for good.
Scott, let's revisit this play by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie because, it's just a really bad play by Cromartie. He's going to be fined for that hit, but he left his feet, and then he went to the head of Byron Leftwich. He was pulled off the field, and he talked to him. But that's just, you've got to play smart in this league. Love the fact that he wants to go hit and participate, but you can't play smart year-round.
Merely a preseason game, but that drive was over, and then the drive continues by virtue of that penalty. Michael Kendricks making the tackle.
Yeah, and he's like, look, be smart, like focus. Keep your eyes on what your job is here. And going after quarterbacks' heads is you're going to be not only going to be lighter this year in the pocket, but you could very well be suspended from those kind of hits. So I know Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie's had a great camp. He's excited that he's at left corner. He's had a great camp in practice so far, but that type of play, he can't do it anymore this year. That's it.
Leftwich with pressure coming once again and dumping off. That's great coverage. Made once again by athleticism from Michael Kendricks, and he is showing that early. How about the pressure coming from Philip Hunt once again?
Well, Hunt has had a great game coming off of the corner, and here he is again. Now he's coming over from the right side. Now, there's not many guys that rush equally well from the right side or the left side. So he's showing that versatility, and when you can do that, that's going to give you more reps the next game or the next time around. Now, they've replaced the whole defensive line. They're keeping them fresh right now. Brandon Graham in there. But this Kendricks could be an every down linebacker because of his speed. Demonstrated it on that last play.
Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. 3rd down and long, back to the ground. And how about that? Rainey got out and got himself a first down. He was bottled up after a gain of a yard or two and popped out off a missed tackle, getting all the way to the far sideline.
This is just disappointing. This is another 3rd down where they had him stopped and they couldn't finish the play. Now, they're right there. They're in the play. I mean, D'Amico Ryan's got screened a little bit, but you need more bodies to that ball carrier when he's being stopped in the middle like that.
Dwyer the lone setback now on 1st down from the 36. And right through the middle. Look at Dwyer go. Finding his way toward the pylon. He's going to be knocked out at the 3-yard line. Ryan Rolls saved the touchdown. But a 33-yard pickup going to set up 1st and goal.
Well, there's 3 linebackers here. Now, can they play better? I mean, Brian Rolls just picked off here. He's blocked so well that he blocks D'Amico Ryans. And so Dwyer gets a big run. But, I mean, that's just what we saw a lot of last year. And we're seeing a lot of it tonight. So that's got to be hugely disappointing to Juan Castillo now. But it starts with the defensive line keeping those linemen off the linebackers. The line are getting up to the linebackers way too easy without anybody stopping their progress.
Baron Batch now the deep back in the I formation on 1st and goal. And it is Batch. Cut down low as he was getting down to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Let's take it out of the field to Jeff.
Guys, first it's Jeremy Macklin out with a hamstring injury. Now it's defensive tackle Cullen Jenkins. He will not return with a right hamstring injury, guys.
Well, Cullen missed parts of training camp 2 weeks ago. I was out there in the middle of the week 2 weeks ago, and he kind of tweaked it, so he might have felt it cramp up a little bit there tonight.
2nd down and goal from the 4. And banging through the middle, not going to be enough to get to the end zone. Eagles close it down, and there's Kendricks once again laying down on top of the ball carrier.
And Scott, look, in this league, red zone offense, red zone defense. We talk about it ad nauseum because you have to. Can you stop them from scoring touchdowns in this part of the field? You make them kick field goals in this league, you can still win football games. You give up touchdowns in this part, and it's a long, hard day.
We're going to find out a little something here now with Batch, the lone setback on 3rd down and goal.
And they spent a lot of time working on short yardage and goal line up at Lehigh.
Leftwich may be checking off at the line. Looking to throw and does, and an easy touchdown on the look-in.
There's a great total breakdown between Nnamdi Asomugha and what he thought was going to be a buzzing defender coming out here. Look at Nnamdi's just turning him loose. That breakdown is what I saw last year, Scott. Even in that 4-game win streak at the end of the season, major breakdowns like that led to touchdowns a year ago, and they do in the first preseason game. I don't think anything could be more disappointing for this team in this early in this game.
Well, one of the things you do is you take this and you learn from it, and this is the first time full speed comes about. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion about exactly what happened right there. In fact, there already has been.
Well, it's happening right now. Nnamdi looked completely confused about what his role was on that play and who he was supposed to be communicating with, but you just can't give touchdowns up in this league.
The delay that you see is because each scoring play is reviewed.
I don't want to play every damn play. I don't want to do that.
So now Suizum to attempt the extra point. And remember, of course, back to the penalty that kept that drive alive, which would have been turned off very early on. 11 plays, 70 yards, 6.5 minutes, and the Steelers cash in. After a long drive, Steelers get into the end zone, a 10-0 lead for Pittsburgh. Pick up specially marked Miller Lite and snap the QR code for your chance to win Miller Flight Deck tickets. For more information, go to PhiladelphiaEagles.com/Miller Lite.
Scott, in the last play, I mean, there was a complete breakdown between Nnamdi and Jaquan Jarrett. Now, here's Jarrett, and Nnamdi thinks that they're going to banjo this thing, and Jarrett's got to be there. Banjo is 2 guys that bracket the receiver, and they clamp it. And I think Nnamdi was soft, and Jarrett didn't get there. But that communication, that's basic right there. There's no way after an off season and 2.5 weeks of training camp that can happen.
Boykin back deep to take the kick from Suizum, and he's going to let this one go by, so a touchback. No opportunity right there for a return. Michael Vick gets another try as we come back. 10-0 Pittsburgh here early in the second quarter. Eagles fans, Flight Night returns on Sunday, August 26th. Flight Night is an amazing night of family fun and football. You can see the entire team practice at Lincoln Financial Field, watch an incredible laser light show, and possibly win an autographed jersey right off a player's back. First 10,000 kids receive a Deshaun Jackson mini bobblehead. Get your tickets soon at PhiladelphiaEagles.com.
Scott, this has been total domination by Pittsburgh here. Exactly what Philadelphia did not want to do in this game. I mean, Pittsburgh's got 26 plays. Philadelphia has the 1 3 and out. So, and it's worth mentioning right now that the Steelers have their second team defense out there on the field.
And Michael Vick back out because he's only had the 3 snaps, and now right back out to it to Deshaun Jackson here on the near side. And positive yardage for a pickup of a little bit more than 5. And things get a little bit chippy.
Well, that's what happens in preseason. People, I mean, for Philadelphia, it's just frustration right now. I mean, here's Deshaun, just a little stop route on the outside. You see the respect to the speed that he gets from the corner. He's almost in full backpedal mode right there because of the respect for the speed that Deshaun plays with.
Got a terrible spot of the football, but nonetheless, second down, and Shady McCoy can't escape. Brandon Johnson did a good job of staying out there, and he was alone on an island to make the tackle for a loss.
Well, the one thing that Pittsburgh has always done is they tackle well, and everybody does. I mean, Dick LeBeau, the Hall of Fame player and coach, it's what's stressed. So, look, I mean, this is the 3rd down here. Eagles couldn't convert their first one. This is huge for Mike Vick right now, keeping the team, the offense, on the field.
Third down and 8. Birds were good in this situation a year ago. And Vick with a flick of the wrist a little bit too high. He was trying to find Clay Harbor up near the 40-yard line. And the Eagles will be forced to punt it away again.
I think Mike Vick just hit his hand on a helmet as he threw that ball in the pocket. This can be a nightmare sometimes. Oh. Yeah, hits it right on the back of Jason Kelsey's helmet. That's his throwing hand. I've seen this a lot right in the pocket, staying there. You can see he pulled right off it, and that's why the ball sailed on him. Didn't follow through. That hand is hurt. We don't know how bad, but they're being looked at right now.
Wow. McBriar punting it away to Rainey. Twisting line drive kick at the 37. And nowhere to go. Good pursuit down the field on special teams. The tackle from Akeem Jordan. Michael Vick being tended to on the sideline.
And back here live for Eagles preseason football right now, Michael Vick is on the bench getting looked at. He's in a little pain here. They're looking at, it looks to be his throwing thumb right now. And of course, Vick is huge to this team. They need him to be healthy. He's played only in 16 games once in his career. Let's hope Michael Vick is okay. Back upstairs.
That doesn't look good right there. I don't want to speculate on what it might be, but I've seen quarterbacks from Phil Simms do that in the pocket, miss an entire season. I've seen Kurt Warner with a team that was 6-0, never play another snap that year with that type of injury. Just think about it now. The left hand is coming forward with the full whip, and it hits the helmet of your center, and it's just completely exposed right now. The one thing the Eagles could not afford to have happen this preseason is get Mike Vick hurt.
You hope that it's jammed. You hope that it's a
anything
bruise.
but that.
Yep. As it is, the Steelers taking over now at the 40-yard line. A lot of the attention is turned in this game. Marquise Mays to the outside on the reverse. Good job staying at home. The Eagles defensive unit, and a flag on the play, as that one was going to the outside. Brandon Boykin stayed at home, made the tackle. We got a flag and a penalty.
Holding, 68 of the offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Take a look. Here's the play inside.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, right out on the outside. Okay, yeah. All right, so they got it. All right, so look, you back Pittsburgh up here. This defense needs to get off the field on these next 3 downs, period. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that they've done so far in this first half that has been good.
The rush coming, and Leftwich underthrows his intended receiver, Batch. He had a lot of pressure coming from Brandon Graham and had to get rid of it.
Well, the Eagles have gotten a lot of pressure tonight without blitzing. So the front four has been doing it. That time, Brandon Graham beat the right tackle cleanly inside. And Graham has had a good training camp so far. He needs to have a good season, but this defensive front, it's going to be heavy rotation. You're going to play 8-9 guys probably every Sunday. So they're going to be fresh. They got to make their reps count when they're out there.
Fair to say, might be the best depth on the team.
They put up 50 sacks last year. They feel like they can do a lot better this year.
Second down. Here they come again, and Graham's got him. Back inside the 25-yard line. Oh, they are doing a great job of getting upfield. That time they finished it off.
Oh, here he is. I mean, he's working against Trey Essex. Look at the shock. The shock with the 2 hands inside, and then the release. I mean, one thing, Brandon Graham, yeah, he's short, probably 6 foot, 6'1", but he's compact and he's explosive. When he came off the edge like that and shocked Trey Essex, that was able to escape and then turn the corner to get to Leftwich.
First-round draft pick, and certainly feeling a little bit more of the spotlight and pressure to perform, but he has done that really since the very first day up in Lehigh.
The good thing is he's healthy and he's practicing every day right now.
Third down in a bunch. Leftwich just thrown away.
All right, so the Eagles finally get off the field on third down. Now, Leftwich is not the mobile quarterback that Ben Roethlisberger was, but that was a good series. They started off by backing Pittsburgh up, forcing the hold. They got the sack, they got the quarterback hit, and then they flushed Leftwich. So, but that's really the story in your picture, is Mike Vick and that $100 million left hand of his.
Maris Johnson now deep to take the punt from Drew Butler. A booming kick back to the 22, but he's got a little room. And there he goes. One more block. Flag down on the play, and an ankle tackle, saving a walk to the house for Damaris Johnson. We have to see about the flag back at the 30.
The smallest guy on the field, but might be one of the most exciting players in all of training camp. And it's been that way since really mini camps and OTAs this offseason. The little free agent from Tulsa has really made his presence felt. This is going to come back.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Philadelphia, 10 yards front of the foul, first down.
Now two pretty big returns from two of the new guys. And there is...
I don't know if they got Clayton. I mean, look.
Is it right here? It's got to be there.
Yeah, there it is.
That's it.
Hey, if you can see the number, you got to lay off it. I mean, that's just the rule, Scott. I don't care if you're coaching your kids' team or in the NFL. You can see the back of the jersey, you got to lay off. And that wiped out a good, good return by Johnson. But here, with the injury to Vic, we'll see Mike Kafka the rest of this second quarter.
We were expecting to see him here in the second. And now we do. Dion Lewis into the ball game. And some cutback running for Lewis out across the 25 and the 27.
Well, the Eagles have their second team offense on the field, from the line to the backs to the receivers right now. So the starters have had their work. At right tackle, 67, Dennis Kelly. Well, actually, he's playing right guard tonight at 6'8", but a guy that they're real high on.
Kafka pretty much accepted as the man who is the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart right now. Handing it off, and Lewis snakes his way out across the 30 for the first Eagles first down. There's Vic on the sideline. Obviously a lot of frustration there.
Well, he's shaking his head, talking to his running back. He's showing him the thumb. And look, all Mike Vick heard about all offseason was, how are you going to protect yourself? Can you stay healthy? He got tired of it, but there he is in the pocket where everybody wants him to be, and he hits his own center with his hand. So these things, it's just unfortunate right now. You just hope that it's just a bruise.
Brett Brackett with a catch out across the 30. Now the good news, I would think, Brian, is A, there's nothing on that thumb on Vic on the sideline right now, and B, he's on the sideline not getting an x-ray. I can't imagine that that's not at least encouraging news.
Yeah, but I don't know why they wouldn't take all precautions. I mean, there's Rick Burkhalter, the trainer. At least ice it. I mean, all Mike is doing is looking at it right now and trying to feel, is this something I've been through before? Is this something I can play with? Is there anything wrong with it? Mike might know right now all by himself.
2nd and 6. Kafka keeping the play alive, but fires it out of bounds. And a third down coming up.
Well, he said at the very outset that this was going to be an important game, an important preseason for Mike Kafka. Can he be a guy that can come in and win games as a backup? He has played in his first 2 years, not a lot, but he really was the backup quarterback last year coming out of training camp. I got a chance in the second game of the season in Atlanta to play in the second half of that game.
Went 7 for 9 in that game for 72 yards. Third down now at 6. Eagles looking for their first third down conversion of the night. Kafka with a little bit of time, and open receiver. Chad Hall, first down yardage. Out to the 46-yard line, an 11-yard pickup. And the second first down of this first half for the Eagles.
Well, it was a good job by the line to protect Kafka this time, because he had a lot of time. More time than Mike Vick had in his short time in there. But with that time, he was able to relocate the second receiver in Chad Hall. And, get the first down of the night for the Eagles.
From the 46. And nowhere to go as McClendon gets in the backfield and turns off Dion Lewis. Loss of about a yard. And there you go. Michael Vick with his left throwing thumb in a cup of ice along that sideline for right now. I don't think we're going to know anything until we get an official word, and we probably won't know anything until after halftime.
Well, Mike is busy sharing what it feels like with a lot of people on the sideline, because that's the biggest concern on this team. And we don't know right now. Maybe at halftime they'll get an x-ray.
Kafka looking all the way, and Damaris Johnson tried to run before he caught the ball. Now you got late flag. And that's going to go against the Steelers.
Yeah, it's going to be a defenseless receiver, and you're going to hear a lot of that phrase in the NFL this year. After he dropped the ball, then he took a hit. And everybody is eligible now, receivers, backs, quarterbacks.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 26, 15, automatic first.
Look, I think the reason why Damaris Johnson dropped that ball was because he was thinking about Steelers safeties. He jumped. He didn't need to jump. And then, you know, a little tattoo from the backup safety of the Steelers there gets him a fortunate first down.
Yeah, Will Allen hit him hard. There's no doubt about it. But
I don't know. I don't think it takes a lot to knock Damaris Johnson down. He's the smallest guy on the field.
Eagles will take the first down now into Pittsburgh territory for the first time tonight. And back to the ground once again. Lewis cut back running inside the 30 and down to the 29. Allen meeting him, but after a pickup of 11 and another Eagles first down as the offense now begins to move late here in the second quarter.
Well, it was good kick out block by Mike Gibson to guard in the play, but look at the vision and the shifting. I mean, really under control. His eyes are up and he's looking where the next level defense is. This kid he replaced Shady McCoy at Pittsburgh and picked up right where Shady left off.
He actually had more yards than Shady did over a 2-year span.
They're one of the shining lights of training camp.
Kafka's got pressure coming. He felt it. And to the outside, keeping it alive. Brandon Johnson taking him out. You got a flag down on the play. Chris Carter was coming for the quarterback.
Holding, offense number 73, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That was on Vandervelde, the second-year guard, who Howard Mudd was very high on a year ago, and still is. There's Howard, the offensive line guru and guy that did a great job with this group a year ago. And his guys don't tend to be the biggest in the league, but technique-wise is how they win. And that group really came together a year ago, Scott. And then, of course, they're trying to replace their all-pro left tackle and Jason Peters this year.
As a guy who understands the position, you have nothing but respect for what Howard Mudd does.
He's been doing it for 30 years in this league and the most respected offensive line coach in the league. He gets guys to play hard and play with good technique.
Bryce Brown in the game now, getting his first action and right back to about the line of scrimmage for the rookie from Kansas State.
And he's really an incredible story, Bryce Brown. He was the most highly recruited running back in the country coming out. He went to Tennessee and played as a freshman at Tennessee, but then Lane Kiffin left Tennessee to go to USC. So he said with the coaching change, he went and transferred to Kansas State, where his brother is a great middle linebacker for Kansas State. Had to sit out 2010, got hurt in the first game, before the first game last year, and really never played. Heck, he just wanted to play pro football. He's got no tread off the tire. He's fresh, but he's raw. He's got great ability.
Just 13 games at the collegiate level. Play action fake. They're looking for him, and it's thrown away. Al Woods, can he be caught from behind? He can, and down he goes inside the 5, and it was Bryce Brown who caught up with him from behind. But the interception, the errant throw, and Pittsburgh is set up in the Eagles' red zone.
Look, they're setting up a screen, and Mike Kafka was blind, turned his back to the defense, and then just went on automatic pilot. Watch, his head is going to turn away here. Now he's blind to what's happening on the backside here. He feels the pressure, and he never really sees the receiver. And so...
Yeah, he's covering the ball because he sees on the video board he's got pressure coming from behind.
Yeah, he does. But that mistake right there was what the Eagles had a lot of interceptions last year, just like that, where the quarterback, whether it was Vic or Vince Young or Kafka, turned their back to the defense and then blindly threw the ball. And he's really got to do a much better job of taking care of it. And that's a mistake that was made way too frequently a year ago.
You're a defensive player. That is a gift you just ran right into. And now the defense trying to tighten up inside the 5-yard line as Batch is bottled up for a loss of a yard.
Well, look, when the defense gets thrown in this situation and you've got to defend your goal line, ball gets at the 5-yard line, you got to come out with the mentality that they're not going to score. So nice job by Antonio Dixon, kind of squeezing the trap block, and then everybody else kind of fills in. But Dixon was a guy that missed much of the season a year ago, and he's their biggest interior defensive lineman, and they need him to be a run stuffer.
Aaron Batch is the setback once again. Receiver in motion is Kachuri. And Batch right back to the middle. Got back the initial loss, back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and goal now coming up from the 4. Philip Hunt again in on a tackle, as was Casey Matthews. And, you know, once again, as the offense hopes to get another opportunity before the first half is gone. The defense has had a couple of things that have worked very well here in this first half, but they've been on the field an awful long time.
Well, it's the backups right now. You know, backup linebackers are in there now, so it's their job to defend the goal line here as we hit the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning here in Philadelphia, and only a big play and a catch from behind saving the score. The Eagles trying to hold off the Steelers in the red zone. 10-0 Steelers here late in the second quarter. Your AAA card is useful in ways you might not expect. Besides roadside assistance, we offer auto insurance. For a quote on auto insurance the AAA way, call, come in, or visit AAA.com. Now, the Eagles defense, an opportunity to hold things off here after this interception.
Well, right here, Dennis Kelly is confused. And so that's the pressure that Kafka feels. And now under pressure, he makes this bad decision to Al Woods, who was on a twist stunt at defensive tackle. And here they are, Steelers knocking on the door at the 4-yard line.
It is Rainey trying to find his way to the outside. Big time play. Derek Landry shooting through the gap. Throws him all the way back to the 13-yard line.
Well, Landry has had a good camp, and that penetration there destroyed that play. But here's Landry. He's going to beat the guard inside on this play. There he is. Center's coming over there. Gets the penetration. Now he finishes the play. So, again, I mean, the defense has made a lot of big plays tonight. They've also given up a lot of big key third downs.
Loss of 9 on the play. 4th down coming up for Pittsburgh when we come back. Right now is not necessarily the score, but that left thumb and a couple of ice for Michael Vick after banging it on a helmet on a throw early here in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, we're going to take an inside look at the NFL's Rookie Symposium. Baldy and I will recap the first half stats and highlights, and Eagles GM Howie Roseman will join us in the booth as the second half gets underway.
Really watch Mike Vick here, just showing exactly what happened. Arms coming forward, and right there, that thumb, as it starts to rotate, hit the back of Jason Kelsey's helmet, and he's in the ice cup right now, trying to keep the swelling down right now. I'm a little surprised that they haven't taken him in just to x-ray it, maybe for peace of mind of Mike Vick, whether it's, you know, something that he's going to be able to come back from without missing time, or just find out what the diagnosis is, Scott.
Now, once again, we'll have eyes on that. As soon as we know something, we'll let you know. Sweezum now going to attempt a 31-yard field goal as the Eagles defense stiffened after a first down and goal from the 4 for Pittsburgh. And he bangs it on home with 1:41 left to go here in this first half. So the turnover results in 3. And Andy Reid's team still having a shutout pitched at him late here in this first half.
Well, it's not a good start. I mean, it was a bad first half all the way around. So a lot of the same mistakes we saw from a year ago are down there, have occurred in this first half, but it's still in preseason mode, and there's a lot of work to do before their opener against Cleveland.
Let's take it out of the field to Jeff.
All right, thanks, guys. We're here with Deshaun Jackson, the Eagles receiver. Deshaun, first let me ask you, how concerned are you about your quarterback, Michael Vick?
Well, hopefully I don't have to be too concerned. Honestly, he just banged his hand on the quarterback. I mean, on the center's helmet after he threw the football. It's kind of swollen a little bit, but like I said, once again, hopefully it's not too serious.
Out here tonight, taking on the Steelers. What did you get out of this few reps here and these few series?
Well, honestly, I was kind of frustrated. The first quarter went by kind of fast. Our defense was left out there. Couldn't really get no stops. It was kind of unfortunate. The offense came in with like 5 minutes left, and then we came in with a 3-and-out. So, we was able to go back out there second quarter and get a little bit of reps. So, we're just anxious, man. We want to get back out there and get it going.
All right, thanks, Deshaun. Guys, back to you.
And that one bangs off.
That's a dead ball.
Yeah, of course it's dead, but not everybody realized that. And Boykin, the rookie back there, he kind of ducked as that ball hit the crossbar.
Well, I don't think he saw that at Georgia very much.
No.
But we did see one good return from Boykin here already in this first half. I don't think he really he just
hey, wait.
He didn't see the ball, he just heard it. Yeah.
Well, he had one touch so far on kick return duty here and was spectacular in doing so. Last 2 times he hasn't got an opportunity to return it.
Well, he got a 2-minute drill here for Mike Kaffer to work with.
A little bit of a sprint out and throw complete. Damaris Johnson.
Now that's exactly what that is. Sprint right option, kind of a basic play, and what is now kind of archaic terminology, the West Coast offense. Nobody uses it anymore because it's been so diluted in so many different ways. So it's really not even applicable anymore in today's NFL. Marty Morningway, the offensive coordinator, the play caller, run that play since his early days in San Francisco, Green Bay, Philadelphia.
Kafka again, and whoa, pretty move by Johnson for the first down.
This guy can stop and start now, Scott. He's got rare quickness, and I mean, I know it's a guy that they're very high on.
That's Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Hit the brakes, he'll fly right by.
Yeah, put the Jake brake on.
Clock running with 1:10 to go here in the half. And wow, dangerous throw. Knocked away. They're looking for Brackett.
Well, you know, at every level you go up. You know, you go out to the OTAs, you play against your defense, that's one speed. You go to training camp, you go against your defense with full pads, that's one speed. Now the first preseason game, you can see that the speed that the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing with, the ability for their outside linebackers to buzz out like that in the passing lane, you've got to play the game faster and get the ball out of your hands quicker.
Kafka's got time. There's Brackett again. This time they keep him from getting out of bounds. Out of the 36-yard line. Clock continues to run with 55 seconds to go.
Well, what you're trying to do is just get first downs and move the ball. Convert this third down and then take your shot down the field when you get that chance after you pick up this first down. Probably work it to the sideline here.
Third down has not been friendly to the Eagles tonight. Just 1 out of 3. And now you can make it 1 out of 4.
Well, on that play, the rookie receiver, Marvin McNutt, tripped coming out of his break. And, you know, this ball is supposed to be on timing here. You're going to see he's not clean coming out of it. Yeah, just stumbles coming out. And he's got to get to that spot. That's where Kafka's thrown. It's a timing route. And him not getting there, the timing breaks down.
McBriar going to punt it away. Marquise Mays now back to return it. The rookie out of Alabama from his own 21. That's a block in the back. That's coming back. Big time return out near midfield, but all the way back at the site of the catch. It was a block in the back. That's going to set the Steelers back inside their own 20.
Now, let's see. It looks like maybe right here.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 80 of Pittsburgh. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, I would imagine Pittsburgh would be content here with his dominant first half of taking a knee and getting to the locker room here. Mike Tomlin knows that on any given play in preseason, an injury is around the corner. I would expect Leftwich just to do that.
And once again for the Steelers, they've pretty much done what they have wanted to do here in this half.
Well, I mean, they control the ball. I mean, they converted their third downs. Roethlisberger was a magician with the ball in his hands. And, you know, they converted big third downs. They overcame sacks, negative plays with his ability to extend plays.
And they do hand it off to Batch. He gets it out to the 20. You would assume that's going to be the final play of this first half. Aiden Clayton making the tackle for the Eagles. No reason in a preseason game to snap the ball again.
Nah, and Andy, take the headset off and go to the halftime, and really can't be pleased with very much in that first half. I mean, especially after what I think he thought was a good preseason and a lot of good work. But that's the biggest story, and that's the biggest concern, is what is the health of Mike Vick?
Right now, hopeful as you go to the locker room at halftime. The Steelers coming out here on a night where a lot of the focus was on Andy Reid. Now this Eagles team with their first step here in this 2012 season. Back with more from Lincoln Financial Field. Getting ready to begin the second half here at Lincoln Financial Field, and a 13-0 lead for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we are joined now here in the booth by Howie Roseman. Welcome. We appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
And, you know, in terms of that first half, obviously a lot of things didn't go exactly the way that you were hoping that they would. Concern, of course, because of Michael Vick.
Yeah, of course, we're looking at our team and trying to evaluate all the players, and when you're in the preseason, you want to come out 100% healthy, but that doesn't always happen that way, and we'll just wait to see what's going on with any of our players who've been injured in this game.
In terms of where you guys are right now, you know, there's a lot of positions that are looking good, looking like they have tremendous depth, and, you know, one of them certainly along the defensive line. A lot of good things coming out of that in the first half.
A lot of good things. Philip Hunt obviously had a lot of pressure. Brandon Graham looked good, and we'll go and evaluate the tape tomorrow and get an inside look at all these players and be able to go and film.
Howie, coming here to the third quarter, I see Nick Foles warming up right now, and it was by design that he was going to play the third quarter tonight. So a lot of people haven't seen this rookie, but I think he's shown a lot of promise already at Lehigh in the time that he's had.
Big arm. He's able to make all the throws. If it's a clean pocket, he's going to be able to zip it in there. And so we're excited to see him in some live action against a team who's able to get pressure on the quarterback.
You spent your third-round pick on Nick Foles last year. When you studied him and you scouted him at Arizona, what did you see from Foles?
Well, you saw he's able to make all the throws, but you also saw that he's able in the pocket to move his feet, find a clear lane, and get the ball out.
Also got an opportunity to see a couple of the youngsters dynamic in the return game. We're going to get another opportunity, you would hope, right here, right now, with Boykin back deep to take the kick.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing both him and Damaris Johnson, and they'll get a lot of opportunities here in the preseason.
I think Brandon Boykin is going to get a chance right here, Howie.
That he will, up through the middle. First time around, better than 40 yards on the return. This time, trying to make the opposition miss. He'll get it out across the 17. And that'll be the line of scrimmage to start this drive for the Eagles.
Howie, Brandon Boykin was your fourth-round pick out of Georgia this year. And, you know, there was some concern just how fast this guy was. And I think that's kind of why he dropped. But this was a guy that played a number of different positions at Georgia, and he kind of jumped off the film edge.
Yeah, we were fortunate to get him. Probably if he goes to the combine, he runs in the high 4.3s, and he goes higher than we were able to draft him. But he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. First play of the year, he took the ball in the Wildcat and scored a touchdown.
So now Foles with his first attempt as an Eagle. And it's complete out to the 20-yard line. And more. I'll tell you what, you want to get off the schneid right away. He finds Brown to the outside for a first down.
Well, there's two good stories there. We talked about Foles, but talk about Bryce Brown, because he was your seventh-round pick, yet he played very little in major college. We told a little bit about his story, transferring from Tennessee to Kansas State. But what did you see, Howard?
Extremely talented individual. He went to Tennessee as a freshman. He played right away, obviously in a big-time conference. #1 recruit in the country along with Trent Richardson. So he's got all the ability. He's just got to get in there and have an opportunity to play.
Brown, a positive gain to the outside, but a flag on the play. And you've got to imagine that's coming back. Preliminary call was a hold.
Holding, offense, number 89, 10-yard penalty, down remains 1.
That's Chase Ford, the tight end, flag for the hold.
Well, we'll take a look here. The tight end on the outside is Chase Ford, rookie free agent trying to make this team right now. And I mean, it's just something you have to do at tight end. You got to be able to hold the point out there, and you can't allow that kind of penetration, even though Brown was able to turn the corner.
In your experience, what kind of a difference is there that very first game out of the chute, after having gone through everything that you've gone through in Lehigh, coming down here and seeing full game speed? How much of an adjustment is there?
Well, we have a grueling training camp. They've obviously been practicing really hard for us. We've been in pads. They were really excited to hit someone else. I think sometimes once you get into the speed of the game, that's why they have these preseason games, get us ready to go for the regular season. And hopefully this process we'll go through will get us ready to go.
Also appears the way camp has been put together, it's definitely honing the players' toughness with the way things are going and the way that the workouts have been set up.
Yeah, I think so. We want to build some mental toughness. That's a big thing for Coach. He wants to make sure that they're mentally tough throughout the season. They're going to be some adversity, and they've done a great job of fighting through it.
Second down from the 31, Foles. And to the middle once again to his tight end Ford. Out to about the 37-yard line for a pickup of about 6.
You know, I'm just reading about Nick Foles. I mean, he went to Westlake High School in Austin, Texas. Of course, that's where Drew Brees went. He broke all Drew Brees' records there. Then he goes to Arizona. He breaks all the records at Arizona. I mean, just watching him right now, he's getting the ball out of his hands quickly. There he is finding his second receiver on the backside. It looks like the gain really isn't too big for him right now, Howard.
Well, you talk about anytime you're breaking a record from Drew Brees, that's got to be pretty good, right?
Hey, it got my attention.
So he's got a big arm. You see the ball looks so small in his hands. He's a big guy, and the ball does come out quick.
6'6", 243. Great size for a quarterback.
He's taking a hit.
He took that hit. Found his receiver, going to be short of first down yardage. Sean Spence, the rookie out of Miami, was right on top of Foles as he released the football. And the Eagles will be punting it away.
One of the competitions is you brought Matt McBriar in as a punter, former two-time Pro Bowler with the Cowboys, kind of an Australian-style kicker with Henry here. Is there competition right there right now? How do you look at that position?
No question. We wanted to add competition at that spot. We thought Chaz would improve in his second year, but we were really in this offseason looking to add competition at every spot. That was one of them that we were looking at, and
He responded there.
Chaz responded right there, didn't he?
That was a bomb fielded by Mays coming back to the near side. Flag down on the play on the return after a 54-yard punt. We'll find out about the flag, but it looks like you could be talking about half the distance to the goal line for the Steelers. That was a bomb.
Good looking play.
Now here's the coverage here, and we've seen a lot of. Now here it is.
Same
That's
guy.
Chris Polk. Chris Polk.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 80 of Pittsburgh, half the distance, first down.
And on special teams, you like to see your running backs, your backup running backs, being able to make a difference on special teams. So
they're going to have to play a lot, right, Howard?
Chris and Bryce to do that on special teams here.
Timeout on the field early here in this third quarter. And Foles making his Eagles debut a good one. $13-0 Steelers lead it early here in the third. Stay up to date with the Eagles and receive text alerts directly from the team to your mobile device by texting Eagles to 82565. Rule the gridiron, rule the stadium, rule the air. Verizon Wireless, official wireless provider of your Philadelphia Eagles. Press stop to cancel, text help for help. Message and data rates may apply. Well, the Steelers take over deep in their own territory after the penalty from their own 7-yard line. And that's good news right there. Better news is we've just got a report from down on the sideline that Michael Vick had x-rays at halftime on the left thumb. X-rays were negative. You can't get a better word right now than that.
How can you take a sigh of relief right there?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you hear about injuries and you know they're going in for x-rays, all you want to hear is negative. Yep. So that's a good thing. Now we can go back and focus on the game here.
Yeah. We'll take a look here at Vinny Curry, your second-round pick out of Marshall, the Conference USA Player of the Year a year ago.
I'll tell you what, both those second-round picks, Conference Players of the Year, Michael Kendricks and Vinny Curry, and we were surprised that he was there when we were picked in the second round. In fact, we had moved back in that second round to recoup the pick we got for trading up to get Fletcher Cox, and we were just resigned to the fact that he would be gone, and he was by far the best player on the board.
Well, he's from Neptune, New Jersey. Grew up a huge Eagles fan.
That's hard to do, by the way. That's not Eagles territory, Neptune.
Well, it's right on the border of, that team to the north. But he wears the Eagles green proudly, and I know it was a big moment when you made the call telling him that he was going to be an Eagle, Howard.
He's a talented kid. He started off camp. He had an high ankle sprain. He's starting to round into form.
Big penetration by Cedric Thornton there.
Good job by the defensive line, and it was Thornton making the tackle.
It's another great story right there. Cedric Thornton, kid from Southern Arkansas who went undrafted, who we had a good draftable grade on, and he came in last year. He worked really hard, and he had the opportunity to improve and come up. We brought him up towards the end of the year, and he's had a pretty good training camp here.
Howie, where do you go to find Southern Arkansas? A lot of people out there are not really sure in the state where that might be.
Well, what I do is I find our least experienced scout, and I send him there.
Well, not a lot of people have found it. One of only 5 players from Southern Arkansas to play in the NFL.
Good nugget scout.
Thank you, Brian. That punt is going to roll dead just outside the 35-yard line. 10:27 to go here in the third quarter. 13-0 lead for the Steelers here. Early moments of the third. Football is back in preparation for the regular season. The Eagles and our partners will be out in the community prior to kickoff weekend. Join the Eagles as we get back to football. Visit PhiladelphiaEagles.com/back-to-football. Check out the full calendar of events. We hope to see you there.
That sounds fun.
It does. By the way, Brian, are you beginning to notice that our guest analyst is starting to get just a little, he's taking a little bit of your time, actually, to be honest with you.
Well, I think he got the news that Mike Vick's X-rays were negative, and all of a sudden, like, he's starting to breathe now.
Hey,
so now I think you
got my number. There's no doubt about that.
Foles has it knocked away. He was trying to find Marvin McNutt on a look-in. Once again, McNutt, a guy that a lot of people had talked about in terms of his ability to try to come out, make an impression, and make this team.
Well, you know what? He's a guy that when the shorts are on, you don't see his true ability. He's a big physical receiver. He's got strong hands. He fits what we do in the West Coast offense. And once the pads came on, once we started to get into training camp, he started to make an impression.
He is set up to the near side now on 2nd down for the 36. Foles, his 2nd series quarterback, and the give is to Brown. They got to get him about a yard, setting up a 3rd down and long coming up.
I'm looking at the offensive line, because I always do, and I'm looking inside at a number of guys. Vandervelde right now, your 6th-round pick from Iowa a year ago, in at center. Dennis Kelly, the biggest guy out there at 6'8", in at right guard right now. I know it's a guy that Howard Mudd is very high on, and you know how he became a free agent. Some things like that happen. What can you tell us about Dennis Kelly in at right guard right now?
Well, Dennis Kelly is a guy who played a lot of football at Purdue. He was starting left tackle there. We were on him fairly early. When Howard saw him, he saw all the traits that we looked for, and we think he's got the ability in time to develop into a starter.
And that ball knocked away. By the way, how about his ability to lay out as the play is starting, just to turn it back over to the play-by-play guy?
Well, he understands. I mean, how he knows that it's all about fundamentals. That's what training camp is for. And so he's picked up on that very quickly. Some people are just quick learners.
The more you can do. Yeah. Learned that a long time ago. The more that you can do. Or in my case, the more that you can't do here. We got to get it right.
Yeah. So we'll take a look here at Chaz Henry. Maybe we talked too highly about him on the last punt. A 54-yarder. This one down there by Chris Polk.
Well, still no return, so 36 yards. The net. And 9:29 now to go here in this 3rd quarter. Eagles preseason football. And Curtis Marsh taking the field right now with 9:29 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Marsh coming out at the quarterback spot, 2nd season out of Utah State.
Was originally a wide receiver there, Howie, and then converted here. Talk about his development so far, what you've seen.
Well, it's really hard to find long, fast, strong corners. So we knew when we drafted him, he probably needed a year in the offseason. He's getting an opportunity to play a lot in the preseason, in training camp, and he's improving.
Eagles defense really starting to assert itself here early in this 3rd quarter. That's a big moment for Vinny Curry, the rookie.
Well, you got to learn how to play the run on the way to the quarterback, and so that's what it is. 3rd step right now closes. And then, you know, look, it's just a body bang inside there. Just get in there, throw the body in as much as you can. But it's really how quickly can you recognize run off of basically a pass rush out. And that's exactly what Washburn is teaching.
That's exactly right. You said it the exact right way. It's playing the run on the way to the quarterback.
On 2nd down. And they are swarming to the football right now. John Clay nowhere to go with it. He lost a couple more, and it's 3rd down and long. Here, a look at the Eagles draft picks this year.
Of course, you moved up with the 1st pick, Howard. Moved up 3 spots to take Fletcher Cox. Kind of fell a little bit, and you just jumped on it right away. And we haven't seen many defensive tackles in Philadelphia in a long time that are that kind of size with that type of measurables.
I don't think there are a lot of defensive tackles made that way. It's just he's an explosive guy. You don't say that usually about 300-pounders. But we're really excited about his progress and where he'll end up being as a football player.
Rod Johnson trying to convert here on 3rd down. And he's going to be hemmed in, nowhere to go with it. So he gets it out to the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up another punting situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I would really appreciate you spending some time with us here and talking a little bit over the course of this game. I'm sure we'll be talking to you more before the preseason is done.
I look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Howard. You bet, buddy. Thanks,
Bob.
He's a fine analyst. He really does a very nice job.
I'm gonna hang with you and watch Damaris Johnson one more time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Back inside his own 30-yard line.
He's going to get a chance.
Yeah, he is. The 25, quick first step, and it closes out just beyond the 30-yard line. And that is where the Eagles will take things over offensively with 8:01 to go here in this 3rd quarter. And the Steelers still sitting on a 13-0 lead. midway through the third quarter. The day after every Eagles game, you can get a large cheese pizza for $10 and take $1 off for every touchdown the Eagles score. There's a maximum of $6 off. Call or order online at papajohns.com. And the offense taking the field once again for the Eagles.
I want to see Foles really unleash one here, Scott, because really just watching him through the OTAs, the offseason, then up at Lehigh at training camp. I mean, you get a chance to watch this guy. He's got such a big arm. Gets the ball. Even that throw to the sideline there gets there to Bryce Brown. There he is resetting his feet, getting the ball to Chase Ford.
And watching him, it was a matter not of arm strength, but really a matter of recognition and just getting comfortable in this offense.
There it is.
There's the arm strength. How about this? On the run is Johnson. They're not going to get him. Touchdown. 70 yards.
Well, I thought it was just a matter of time, but really, Nick Foles, he did a good job of escaping the initial rush, but keeping his eyes down the field, staying under control, and then locating Damaris Johnson. You can see the most diminutive guy out there at about 5'6" or 5'7", but you see the arm strength of being able to push this ball down the field. Nice job of escaping, and then the ball gets there in a hurry. So nice play by Foles, keeping it alive, and then Johnson finishing the play. And some excitement here for Eagle fans tonight.
A lot of excitement. And for Foles, that's got to feel awfully good in your first game in an Eagles uniform. The extra point is up and good.
Well, we were kind of bragging about Nick Foles on a night when there wasn't a lot to talk about offensively, and really he's taking advantage of his reps. And one thing I'll say, and I know it's the backup players in Pittsburgh, is he looks very comfortable. He looks like he's in control. He looks like he knows what he's doing here. And here's the touchdown throw. Pittsburgh comes with the pressure. Does a good job of ducking the linebacker. Now heads up. He can really push the ball downfield. Nice job by Damaris Johnson. A double moving the corner. And how you don't get many wide open receivers like that in the NFL, but that's what happens when your quarterback can escape. I have constantly been impressed by Foles in camp, and so you kind of hold it to the game and you go, okay, how's he doing during the game? Can he handle the offense? You're looking for a backup quarterback to Mike Vick. I mean, I think this is a guy that I don't know how much time he needs to get ready, but he's shown me a lot in a very short period of time.
Rookie to rookie, and a great first impression. Andy Reid getting an opportunity to see the third-round draft pick.
People kind of question, people kind of question, third-round pick on a backup quarterback when you had Kafka there, who they'd been grooming for 2 years. But really, I mean, Howie Roseman said it, the value was too good at that position to pass him up. And who knows? Who knows what he becomes down the road?
And the kickoff right back on through the end zone. So defense has really kind of turned it up a notch here in the second half for the Eagles, and Foles saying, hey, let me get back out there again.
Yeah.
I like this. This is fun.
He hasn't taken the helmet off yet.
This is fun.
He wants another shot. Maybe he's loosening out. Now
28 plays, 80 yards, one play, 70 yards. This is an easy game.
Yeah. And there's Bobby April there, the special teams coach, talking to Damaris Johnson. We've seen him on punt returns tonight, and then the first touchdown of the NFL season for the Eagles by a rookie free agent out of Tulsa.
Aaron Batch in the backfield for the Steelers, and they are just jumping into the backfield. Nothing going on there.
This kid just needs to play. Vinny Curry just needs to play. He's a great story. He's the Conference USA Player of the Year out of Marshall University. That's a nice play. Plays through the offensive tackle into the backfield. Took the fight, got the penetration, played off the block. I think the more he plays, the more active he's going to become. His first day coming to NovaCare after he signed with the Eagles was when Brian Dawkins retired, he couldn't believe he was in the same building as Brian Dawkins, one of his childhood idols.
He was his favorite player.
Yeah.
On second down, that's a bouncer, and Mays couldn't get his hands underneath the throw from Johnson.
That's RJ Atogwe there, the safety on that play. And Atogwe is an interesting guy because over a 5-year period in St. Louis, he had 24 interceptions and 22 forced fumbles. He was as big a playmaker at safety as there was in the league. Now, he went to Washington last year, and I tell you, all these free agents that transferred teams last year with the lockout and really no preseason, they all kind of struggled. But this is a guy who's been a playmaker in this league for 7 years.
And whistle on a play.
Smart player.
Full start. Number 68 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 3.
And Kevin Beecham, rookie out of SMU. He's having a little bit of a rough debut for the Steelers here. Having to deal with Vinny Curry on the outside. Mike Tomlin never one to shy away from showing some fire on that sideline for the Steelers.
Vinny Curry, I think, with what he's done and the heat that he's bringing right now, might have made the tackle move a little early. I saw Vinny Curry out there in a full padded scrimmage 2 weeks ago at Lehigh, and they had some injuries on the defensive line. He took every snap that day.
Timeout.
Tongue hanging on the ground, but he gutted it out.
Johnson didn't like what he saw, called the timeout. Vinny Curry enjoying life in the NFL, Part 1. 13-7, Steelers on top alongside Brian Baldinger. I'm Scott Graham. Down to the field we go now to Jess Skaversky.
All right, thanks, guys. We're here with D'Amico Ryans, your first start in preseason action for the Eagles. Honestly, how did you feel?
I felt good out there. You know, we have to do better getting off on third down, but it felt good as the defense guys played hard. I had a good out, but we have to work on things and get better. We look to dominate better when we're out there.
What do you guys need to do specifically to get ready for week 1?
Just continue to tackle better. We had several missed tackles. We have to all tackle better and communicate better.
Andy Reid has called you one of the best 4-3 middle linebackers in the game. What does that mean to have that presence in this Eagles defense?
It means a lot. You have to have someone step out there and rally the troops and get the guys going, get everybody on the same page. So it means a lot for Coach Reid to say that about me, and it's an honor to be here and to be able to play for the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Back up to you.
Well, after that sack by Cedric Thornton, the 5th of the night for the Eagles, out of an errant punt from Drew Butler. And Johnson.
That might be a flag.
Well, there's a lot going on right there. The Eagles bench is calling for a flag.
I know they are. I mean, they went right to the head. Almost decapitated Damaris Johnson. Got a face mask and the helmet there. I don't know how they missed that, but this is a very inexperienced group of officials. But just the movement there of Johnson being taken off his feet, you got to see that.
Myron Rolle.
Now the fans are reacting to watching it on the screen, seeing how they draped his face mask in order to pull him down.
That's a Rhodes Scholar made that play, so you got to imagine he's just smart enough to be able to do it and get away with it.
It's okay. I didn't know the education comes in like that, Scott. Andy saw it was right in front of him.
So now Foles, who's throwing the 70-yard touchdown pass, trying to see if he can put his team in front. Going up on top for Gilliard. Got it! Down inside the 1-yard line.
This guy's got a good touch. That's a great deep throw on a go route to Marty Gilliard. This ball's what a catch and good concentration. Now, is it inside the pylon? Sure looks like it.
Sure does.
The official's not in position. He's got to be right there at the pylon, so he's out of position to see this. But to me, he touches the pylon. It's a touchdown. I mean, I don't know. If I was Andy, I'd challenge it. He's got the red flag in his hand, but that's a touchdown.
He just tossed it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, official's out of position, but that's going to be the second touchdown throw for Nick Foles here tonight.
There's a challenge, and when they take a look at it, I don't see how you can deny the fact that he went right over the pylon. Oh, as that football ends up breaking that plane.
Yeah.
Not on the field, inside the 1.
Well, you have to do this because I think they're going to win this challenge. Marty Gilliard, good concentration here. Got possession of the ball, and once he touches that pylon, the pylon's in. The ball's clean. That'll get overturned. That'll be a touchdown for the Eagles and a second touchdown pass for Nick Foles, and that's what we've seen throughout training camp here, Scott. The really accurate touch on the deep ball.
Remember, that plane extends straight up to infinity.
Yeah.
And out to the other side of the pylon as you hit the pylon.
Yeah. No, this should be overturned. Mark Gilliard's an interesting guy. He was the 4th-round pick of the Rams at the University of Cincinnati 2 years ago. And if you look at the Eagles roster with players from the University of Cincinnati, they've struck gold with Jason Kelsey, Trent Cole, Brent Selleck, all mid-round picks out of Cincinnati. They've had a lot of success, as much success from that Bearcat program as any program in the country.
And his story is an incredible one. Going into school and struggling academically, getting basically kicked off the team, and staying and living in Cincinnati to stay near the team, not going back home again, living in a car.
Yeah.
Well, he had 3 different jobs trying to figure out a way to get his way back in, which he did.
I think Foles knows.
Everybody's watching the scoreboard here at Lincoln Financial Field.
We're watching the same replays that we've just shown here.
And I believe exactly what the official is seeing under the hood.
Yeah. Well, but like this guy has got to be at the goal line. He's not in position here. So
he got beat too.
Yeah, he got beat on the play as well. You're right. Marty Gilliard beat both of them on the play.
Curtis Brown and the official. Now we'll find out for sure.
The ruling on the field has been reversed. Touchdown.
How about that?
Yeah. Tell you, Nick Foles is impressed now. We've seen his arm, and we kind of bragged about it a little bit, but he really, just watch the protection that Foles has here. 5-man rush, good protection, stays in the pocket. Boy, dropped it right into the bread basket. There's a lot to be excited about with Nick Foles.
2 drives, 114 yards, 44 seconds, and the Eagles have the lead.
Well, here's what preseason is about, Scott, to me. It's about making the best of your opportunities at every position. Now, right now, he's flashed. He's flashed because he's gotten that ball out of his hands. He's been accurate. He's used his feet to avoid the rush. And you watch him, it's not like he just won an Olympic gold medal. I mean, he's taking this all in stride. It's a great feeling. Jason Babin in street clothes congratulating him. Nothing will make a rookie feel a bigger part of the team than contributing like that.
And it's so much of it is going to be about confidence.
Yep.
And coming in, I've got to imagine, and you know this better than anybody, having played the game, but especially for a quarterback coming into a situation like this, you come out first couple of times, there has to be mass confusion, all kinds of different things going on in your head. To be able to come out and get validation like this, come out and be able to throw the ball the way you're capable, get your team in the end zone twice, that's going to do nothing but help.
Well, we've seen the physical attributes, 6'6", 245, with an over-the-top release, but now you're talking about poise. Poise, being under control right here. He's moved the team. I know it's Pittsburgh's second and third teamers. That doesn't matter. This is his first NFL action, and he's talking to Marty Morningweg right there, and he looks like he belongs.
Once again, doesn't want to take the helmet off. He wants to go at it again. Why not?
Yeah, I would too. Give me another opportunity.
It's like being on the merry-go-round. Can I go around one more time? Marquise Mays through the middle. Out across the 20-yard line and dropped at the 22 after a 29-yard return. Ryan Rao making the tackle on special teams.
Well, Marty Gilliard catching his first touchdown pass as an Eagle. That'll make him excited. You know, because there's a lot of competition at wide receiver. And when you make plays and you show up in the end zone, that always gets coaches' attention. David Culley's been here for 14 years, the wide receiver coach with Andy Reid, and that'll make him feel good in that meeting room tomorrow.
Big part of this turnaround has been the fact that the Eagles' defense has given up nothing here in this third quarter. Johnson trying to go up on top and overthrowing Up on that far sideline, Derek Williams, his intended receiver.
People may remember Jared Johnson. He was here last year with the Eagles.
Gerard Lindley right there, step for step.
Well, Lindley's a guy that was drafted out of Kentucky 2 years ago, and outside of special teams really has not contributed much. So much is expected for him to show up, but that's good coverage, just riding the receiver right to the sideline. See the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 11 yards here in the second half, so the defense has certainly tightened the bolts on the Steelers here in the second half.
Johnson's got pressure coming, stayed in there, but bounced it short of Will Johnson, his intended receiver. Once again, big time pressure coming from Taylor.
Yeah, here he is coming right off on the outside here. You see that? That's where most of the Eagles' pressures come from, just off the edges, where the Steelers have kind of really spread you out and try to go big on big, meaning a tackle on the end.
Late flag and a holding call coming against the Steelers. Once again, that's a function of all of the Eagles' pressure from up front, especially really coming at it here in this third quarter.
Scott, I was out at practice on Monday, and I was talking to the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, and we were watching practice from right behind the defensive line. And I'm telling you, the camaraderie in that group, everybody pulling for everybody, is as strong of a group of camaraderie as you can have. I mean, they truly want to see everybody have success.
Well, on 2nd and 20, the give is to Clay, and John Clay will get it back out across the 20 to the 24.
There's going to be a lot of competition on that defensive line to who makes the team. They're going to cut some good players. They're going to be forced to. But they're going to probably have 9 or 10 guys that can contribute every week up front, and that's where this defense really gets started. You know, a lot of people have this misconception, wide 9 is a defense. A wide 9 is a defensive line. It's a front. And it really says how wide are these ends going to be. They get out real wide to rush the passer. But they also can tighten it down like they did on this play here.
But Curry's relentless coming after the quarterback. In this case, Johnson escapes, and he's going to have first down yardage. That's what they were talking about. It's exactly what D'Amico Ryans was talking about a couple of moments ago with Jeff down on the field. Got to do a better job of making sure you get off on third down.
We got to get off, and then, you know, the linebackers, they got to recognize quicker. You know, now somebody's got to get out here and contain, but you've got to recognize Jared Johnson pulling that down. First of all, know what this kid is all about. He's a great runner. And Jim Washburn is the architect. And to go out and watch him work his group every day is worth the price of admission, and it's worth the trip to Lehigh to go watch him work him, because they don't take any days off up there.
Not a lot happening on first down. As a player, when you get into one of these situations, now you're into the third quarter of your first game full contact. I understand there's been a lot of rotation. A lot of guys have not seen a whole lot of time, and they've been rotating very well. But you're a little bit gassed at this point?
Yeah, well, part of it is a guy like, you know, we just saw Ali Agbu there, number 78 out of Penn State. Part of it is just controlling your emotions. You're so hyped up to go out there and make a play that you actually fatigue yourself sometimes. But once they get out there, they start getting the feel where they're like, it's just football. It's just what we've played our whole life. It's a good hit.
That it was. Hakeem Jordan coming up right through the middle and holding the gain to about a yard. Another third down coming up for the Steelers as we approach the 3.5-minute mark left here in the third.
It's got to say that, you know, you need impactful hits and plays from the middle of your defense, linebackers and safeties, and that's where the Eagles have to get better. They didn't do it in the first half, but Casey Matthews, who started middle linebacker last year right away and then was unseated, that group has got to make the hits, the forced fumbles, tip the passes. That's where the really impactful plays have got to come from.
On third down, that looked like a block in the back. No flag on the play, and now running wild is Rainey. Down the sideline he goes. And into the end zone for a touchdown. 57 yards.
Well, Brandon Boykin had one chance at the end to get him down, but that's got to be a concern to Juan Castillo, because it's just too many big plays given up on third down tonight. Now this is just straight four-man rush.
Check out the block.
Yeah, they missed one, you know, and that's unfortunate, but we've got backup referees that flat out are not NFL caliber, and they missed that play. And the result is the Steelers are in the end zone, but Look, that can happen on Sundays. All I know is that's too big of a play to give up on third down, regardless if they missed one clip.
Well, the defense has played so well throughout this third quarter. Gave up a big third down, and then a very big play, perhaps aided by a block. Boykin missed on the tackle near the goal line, and now Ratman on to attempt the extra point. And he'll hit it. Kenny Clayton and the defense coming off knowing that they played better than that in this third quarter.
Now it's about limiting big plays, and that's been their Achilles heel tonight defensively.
Visit PhiladelphiaEagles.com/Miller Lite to find a location near you where you can win Miller Flight Deck tickets.
Well, Nick Foles has gotten the Eagles into the end zone twice here in this third quarter. Really, this is a nice job of really recognizing the rush, stepping up in the pocket, then escaping, but keeping his eyes down the field and then showing really a big cannon of an arm. Getting the ball to the rookie wideout Damaris Johnson, then followed up the very next series to Marty Gilliard with a play that was initially ruled out at the 1 foot yard line, and he challenged the play. The play was overruled, and Foles again, helmet buckled up, the warm up there, and that's his numbers here in this third quarter. Very impressive debut for the third-round pick out of Arizona.
Ratman bangs away at the kick, and Boykin can have an opportunity to return it from the goal line. Out across the 20, and out to the 24 before Brandon Johnson makes the hit. 24-yard return. Oh, 2:50 to go as the quarter rotation continues. One more crack at it for Nick Foles. We expect to see Trent Edwards come on to play in the fourth quarter. That was the original plan, each quarterback getting 1 quarter's worth of action. There's Edwards.
Edwards, who spent time in Buffalo and in Jacksonville, was out of football last year. Called up this offseason to compete and try to add some depth to that position.
Foles to work out of the shotgun. Blitz coming. And right through the hands of Brett Brackett. It falls incomplete. Let's take it down on the field to Jeff. I'll get Dak down there momentarily.
So that's the first pass I've seen Brett Brackett drop this whole preseason. I mean, this kid was a wide receiver at Penn State. He actually was recruited heavily to be the quarterback. They moved him to wide receiver. Had a pretty good career as a Nittany Lion there. And now, they kind of signed him as a free agent to see if he can convert to kind of that hybrid wide receiver tight end position. And like I said, he's had good hands in training camp.
The lane give to Bryce Brown, got himself a block and staying on his feet. On the near sideline, there he goes. And taken out of bounds in Pittsburgh territory at the 42-yard line. 23 yards on a pickup.
Well, that's some of the talent that made him their 7th-round pick this year. And here it is, a guy that was a limited player in college, but nice vision here. Breaks that tackle, and that's what you get with him. He's 220 pounds. He's got some power, but he's got breakaway speed as well. And good blocking downfield by a couple of rookies. Mark McNutt right there, 83, does a good job. And Bryce Brown has been impressive with his opportunities in some full live contact drills at Lehigh.
Might have found something there.
Well, this kid too has been impressive. Chris Polk,
rookie out of Washington on the carry, picks up a couple. Let's take you back down to Jeff.
Hey, LeSean McCoy just walked away for a quick second. He's very impressed with Bryce Brown and the Eagles offense right now. He's having a good time. He wants to go back and watch the Eagles for a little bit.
Well, I think he wants to see his guys. I mean, that's the camaraderie. He wants to see these guys develop because really the health of LeSean McCoy is as important as the health of Mike Vick. And just making sure that you don't burn out LeSean McCoy. He's going to need, somebody's got to pick up at least 100 reps of his from the backup running spot throughout the season.
Polk is the deep back. And there's a throw up over the top once again, turning his head and unable to come down with it. Elvis Akpla, the rookie out of Montana State.
Well, this is, what Nick Foles is trying to do here. He's just trying to lay this ball up. I don't know if that was supposed to be a back shoulder throw, and Akpla just didn't adjust to it very well. But it's one of the few incompletions that we've seen here from Foles.
178 yards, though, in this third quarter. Much more active Eagles offense. Third down, called at 9. Ed Polk buried at the 40-yard line after just a 2-yard pickup. Sean Spence, the rookie out of Miami, making the tackle for Pittsburgh.
Kind of like to see put the ball in Nick Foles' hands here on third down like that. Give him a chance to throw it rather than just handing it off on a lead draw to Chris Polk.
So not every drive works out in a touchdown, Nick just learned.
Well, I think he was kind of shocked that he was just asked to hand it off on 3rd and 9 like that.
Marquise Mays back deep to take the punt. And he's waving for the fair catch, which he'll make at the 11-yard line. Take it back down to Jeff.
All right, thanks, guys. We're here. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. How did you feel in this first preseason game in the time you were out there?
I had a lot of fun out there, just being out there, being back with the guys, playing another team, and coming out playing a team like the Steelers, man, that, a good team. They really let us know where we are as a defense just coming out and playing.
And when you look at this Eagles defense coming back for a second year, how much more comfortable do you feel now on the outside?
I feel a lot comfortable just coming in, getting that OTAs in, getting that off field, just training and just basically going through it. And I think it really helped us a long run. So just coming out here looking to put it all together.
And let me ask you about your new deal. Let's take a look at that mohawk. What's going on there?
I got a little bit of green in there, man. Just representing Eagles Nation, man. I love this team, man. You cut me, I bleed green. So it's all about Eagles pride.
How high are you going to get it?
Oh, it's going way up there.
Way up. All right, it's a new look for Scott and Brian. It's a new look for you guys.
Yeah, not for me.
I'll pass. But I can see that being a trend. A lot of high schools getting started, this week. And
he said it's going way up high. I'm curious as to how high that's going.
Well, I don't know. You tell me, Scott. You still got a full head of hair. How high can yours get?
Not like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long that's going to last, if that's going to be a weekly thing. But obviously, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie making a statement here. Hopefully, the hit that he had on the quarterback earlier today will be the last one like that where he won't take the penalty.
Now for the third quarter, a little bit of offense for the Eagles. The defense flexing some muscle, too. So we got a chance to see what Vinny Curry, a rookie, could do, and another couple of rookies putting on a show here in this third quarter. 15 minutes left to go. Now 1 quarter to go. We now know that X-rays were negative on Michael Vick's thumb, still keeping it in ice to make sure that you avoid the swelling. We'll see how quickly he can get back to action after a...
I think he seems to be a little bit more relaxed than he was after the X-rays came back negative. So it's just a question of, pain and getting the mobility back in it.
This is what it looked like when Vick was on for the first series that he had in the second quarter, his second series of the game.
I tell you, almost every quarterback that's ever played the game has had that happen to them, where they hit that thumb of their throwing hand in the back of a lineman. And it scares you to death because you really don't know. It's such a fragile digit there, and obviously on his throwing hand, you're not going to throw the football if there's any damage there. So he knows it was hurt right away. X-rays negative, which is a good sign. So I would expect him back. Next preseason game is in 11 days up in Foxborough against the Patriots, and I think he's probably breathing a sigh of relief at this point.
Looks like Mike Tomlin called for a timeout.
Timeout. Pittsburgh. They're second in the second half.
Taking a look at it on a 3rd down and short for the Steelers when we come back.
Just on the last timeout, Vinny Curry coming over, getting a little hydration and being met by Darryl Tapp and Brandon Graham, and part of the camaraderie I'm talking about. Guys just pulling for each other. And I tell you, it's as good a group as you're going to get in the NFL. And that was tonight without Trent Cole, Jason Babbitt, and hurt a calf early in training camp. And that man is Jim Washburn. Right next to him right here is William Fuller, former Philadelphia Eagle and All-Pro with both the Houston Oilers and the Eagles, helping out at age 50 with Jim Washburn, making an impact.
On third down, defensive line trying to stand up. And there's your impact. Going to be short. The first down yardage is Philip Thomas, a rookie out of Syracuse, comes up to make the hit.
Well, that's how you get recognized. On a short yardage play like that, you come in here and you plug. You plug, you get low, you come in that hole, and you put your hat right on them, and then you drive them back, and you stop them from getting a first down. So, big play for a free agent in Thomas.
Drew Butler to punt it away. Kind of a twister, a little end-over-end action. And it'll find the sideline inside the Eagles' 40. A 42-yard punt. No return after a defensive stand. Offense will come back out trying to take the lead here in the fourth quarter. Here's on top, 13:33 to go in this first preseason game. Fans, here's your opportunity to witness history and see two of the world's greatest soccer teams. Real Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo take on Celtic this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. here at Lincoln Financial Field. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com.
Football, European style, and Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to measure, you know, how popular an athlete is, but Ronaldo has 24 million Facebook followers, Scott. You know, a little bit more than probably you have. Are you on Facebook, Scott?
I am.
Yeah, I figured you were.
How are you?
Barely. I mean, I kind of make some mistakes in that thing, but Trent Edwards warming up here. Trent Edwards with 33 starts with the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Picked up this offseason. Had one really good year. Sat out last year. 2008 was his best year, where he completed 66% of his passes in 14 starts. It's been a little while since he was back there calling signals every down.
And throw to the inside, Tiger Jones. Get it out to the 42-yard line. Quick 3-yard pickup.
I love Tiger Jones. I mean, he was the star of the arena team here. Ron Jaworski, the president of the Philadelphia Soul, were playing for a championship this weekend down in New Orleans. He was the star receiver, and he got called up. And so it's the dream of Tiger Jones to get out here and try to make this roster. So first time on the field, catch from Trent Edwards. He'll take that.
Edwards with a rush coming. Got away from it. And right down the middle of the field for Polk. Wow. That's a hit. And Polk held on for first down yardage into Pittsburgh territory. Marshall McFadden laying the hit.
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be a penalty. The player is supposed to go out of the game this year when his helmet gets knocked off like this. If it's knocked off legally, because players aren't buckling their helmet up. Now that play is dead. By rule now, he's supposed to come out for that play. But they didn't. Either they don't know the rule or they don't know how to enforce it. But by rule this year, a player has to come out of the game.
Akpla in motion. And on the reverse, it is Akpla. Out of the 41-yard line. Got himself 6 yards on the end round.
A couple rule changes this year. Take a look at them. The overtime postseason rule now will be used throughout the year from first game on this year. Every single turnover is replayed. Too many men on the field is a dead ball foul, but it's also not on here is that helmet rule. They want players to buckle up. Part of the emphasis on player safety throughout this league.
That point of emphasis is not really going to work all that well in any of those ways until you actually get the officials in.
Yeah, that's where it starts. Chris Polk is an interesting player, though. He was a free agent pickup from the University of Washington. He had both shoulders and both knees operated on in college. And so durability was always a question, but he put up staggering numbers while he was there. First team All Pac-12 a year ago. And he's a difficult guy to tackle. I mean, he's got great balance. He's got good size, 225 pounds. And he's an every down back. He's a good blocker. He may get a chance to do that here on this third down.
Third down conversions have not been good for the Eagles tonight. Just 1 out of 7. Edwards up on top. Got his man. Can't quite haul it in. Tiger Jones with a diving attempt down near the 10-yard line. It was a touch pass down that sideline, and Jones couldn't quite reel it in with Andre Freeman there in pursuit.
Well, part of Trent Edwards getting that ball down the field was protection, and that time Chris Polk did a good job of picking up the outside linebacker. Take a look here at Tiger Jones getting an opportunity. That ball was well thrown, and Tiger knows that he's got to do a better job of coming up with that one, especially if you're a free agent trying to make a team that's pretty well set at receiver.
Chris Rainey back deep now for the Steelers inside his own 10-yard line. Henry punting here in the second half, trying to pooch it down inside the 20. And Rainey just outside the 20-yard line. That's where the Steelers have started out with 10:51 left to go. Let's go back down to the field to Jeff.
All right, thank you. We're here with Nnamdi Asomugha. Nnamdi, how much of a test is it to face the Pittsburgh Steelers, who you guys will face in Week 5?
You know, it's a good test because they're a perennial playoff team, you know, and those guys have been together for so long. So it's a good test for us always to come out and see how we fare, you know, in the preseason. We also got them, having them in Week 5, you know, you don't want to show too much right now because you kind of want to keep it secret until you play against them.
And what do you think you guys need to do to get ready for the regular season? How do you think you did on defense tonight?
I think we just need a couple more preseason games just to get into it. I think, you know, everybody was so excited today, and, you know, the energy was so high. So guys are just running around, but once we get into it and you get like another preseason game, you get a little more time on the field, I think everybody will calm down a little bit and just be able to just play, you know, cohesive football. But, you know, I thought that the defense, we played well in spurts. You know, it was our first time out, so you can't really judge what's going on. It's usually the biggest jump is between the first and the second game. So how we come out and fare next week, I think will be a truer example of how we are.
All right, perhaps we'll see you with the Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie look soon?
No, I don't want the green.
All right.
I'm trying to, you know, I like the box. He went with the green.
All right.
I'm good.
All right, guys, let's go back upstairs.
All right, he just took a pass. That's it. No, thank you. The box is fine by me.
I think Nnamdi, of course, travels in different company. He was with the president, our officer-in-chief, not long ago.
How about that?
Yeah, Barack Obama.
I mean, everybody made a big deal about the fact that Barack Obama said that Michael Vick's got to slide more, but nobody made any reference to the fact that...
What's he doing hanging with him? But he does travel in those kind of circles. You know, obviously extremely articulate, intelligent. He brings those qualities to the field.
Third down now. And Johnson in trouble again, and he got a flag on the play. Xavier Brown chased him down from behind. Sack stands. It's yet another for this Eagles defense.
Xavier Brown holding on the outside.
Offense number 68, 10-yard penalty, remains third down.
And I think they've got a lot of sacks tonight, Scott. I don't have the number in front of me.
6
sacks. They're all coming from their ends, and they're all coming around the corner, where really they're rushing the quarterback every play, just screaming off the edge like that. And so for Xavier Brown, a free agent at CW Post, look at the smile that he puts on Jim Washburn's face. I mean, last year, up top of the league lead with the Minnesota Vikings, of course, Jared Allen had a big chunk of those 50 sacks, almost half of them. So that always brings a smile to Jim Washburn's face and to that whole group. Good night for that defensive line.
Butler, who's been punting all night tonight, getting it away, and Gilliard now back deep to take it from his own 26. And on the run. Climbing his way to the inside. Good return out to the 40-yard line. A good field position coming after a 53-yard kick and a 13-yard return. Defensive ends getting after it all night long tonight. 6 Eagles sacks on the evening. 20-14 Steelers on top here with 9:12 left to go in this opening preseason game. And with all the good signs that have come out tonight, that's the best one right there, is the fact that number 7's got a football in his hand again.
Yeah, and that's what he wants to be able to do. Can he grip it? You know, I mean, that's what it's got to be. He's got to put the ball back in his hands. Let's see how it feels. Let's start gripping it right now. See how, you know, how's it come out? That's a good sign, I think, for Philadelphia Eagle fans, and probably the biggest thing to come out of the night. A huge scare in that first quarter But the fact that the tape is off the thumb right now, he's gripping it, he's kind of feeling it out right now, I think he's going to be okay.
Edwards leading his team out, trying to get something going here. Right back to the middle of the field to Polk. First down yardage to the midfield stripe. And into Steelers territory at the 49.
You got both hands around that football, covered up. Steelers try to grab it. It's just a check down throw here. Edwards feels a little pressure. And Polk just running a little Texas route out of the backfield. Good job of covering up here, and as the Steelers swarm him. This is an every down back now. This guy catches the ball very well, runs with it after the catch well. Hard guy to bring down. Got a good lower body strength, good base on him.
There he is again. And making the opposition miss out in space inside the 45 down to the 44.
It's interesting, in the two free agent running backs that they brought in, Bryce Brown, we talked a little bit about tonight, Scott, and Chris Polk, kind of divergent backgrounds. Polk played a lot at Washington, a lot of snaps, a lot of touches, 3 full years. Bryce Brown, very, very little. So one guy has got a little broken in, a lot of experience. The other guy, very little, and there we go. I mean, the fact that he's gripping that ball like that, kind of giving Deshaun Jackson, a lot of guys on that sideline, some confidence.
Play action. Edwards looking left all the way. And that is Hamler. Jamel Hamler's got himself a first down to the 35-yard line. Call it the 36.
Beating press coverage right here. They work on this every day out of camp. Just trying to get that separation. And then trying to get as many blades of grass as you can after you catch it.
Hamler out of Fresno State. Spent the last 3 weeks last year on the Eagles practice squad.
Yeah.
They like what they're seeing so far. And Edwards, realizing that he had Polk covered in the backfield by Jake Stoller. Adrian Robinson was coming, so he threw it away.
Yeah, and when he threw it right at the feet of his back, Chris Polk, who was running out on a screen. And so that's a smart play by Edwards. And you expect that. I mean, Edwards is a veteran. He's a Stanford graduate. He spent 5 years in this league before he sat out last year. So it's a smart play. You know, dump the ball, don't take the intentional grounding, don't take the sack, and look for another down.
One thing Edwards does bring as one of the quarterbacks here in camp is NFL game experience.
Yeah, 33 starts to be exact.
Firing down the middle, it's complete. And it's going to be good for a first down to Elvis Akpla.
He's an interesting story, Elvis Akpla, because he played his football at Montana State, but he was born in Senegal, in Africa, West Africa, and didn't start playing until his family moved. His mom moved him to Portland, Oregon, where he grew up with his brothers and sisters. But you're talking about a guy that's appreciative of everything he has as an American citizen now. It's Elvis Akpla.
He also majored in cell biology and neuroscience.
I failed cell biology, Scott.
I didn't take it.
I shouldn't have taken it.
And Edwards feeling the pressure coming, throws that one away. Once again, it was Adrian Robinson, the rookie out of Temple. Played his home games here at Lincoln Financial Field. Getting a little pressure on the quarterback.
That's a second good play by Edwards here. Just really dumping the ball, getting rid of it, knowing that he was out of the pocket and throwing the ball away. So again, go to second down.
Edwards 6 out of 9. 6:23 to go. Eagles trying to see if they can get in and take the lead back in this game late in the fourth quarter. On second down, blitz picked up. There's your throw, and it's incomplete. McKay Jacobson kind of got held up on his way down the hash.
Well, that's a play in this league right now that everybody can do. It's the ball right down the seam. And really, you usually have an underneath defender, and then the safety over the top really can't blow up receivers anymore. So you see tight ends going down the seam now, like Jimmy Graham, Brent Selleck. These guys, Rob Gronkowski, those guys are making a nice living running down the seams for big plays.
There's Brent Selleck sitting this one out here this evening. Brown looking for a first down here. And the throw is complete. Staying on his feet inside the 20. Emil Iguanagu, rookie out of UMass.
And of course the Eagles here in preseason, 4th down territory here. You go for it, but nice job here. Edwards sees the rush, buys some time right now. Good accurate throw on the run. Setting up basically about a 4th and 2, but you got to go for it. You're going for the win all the way. Trying to stack wins whenever they happen. And you work on your 4th down offense.
It's a long 2 yards. First try at 4th down tonight for the Eagles.
Tight formation for the Eagles. They'll start tight and then go wide.
Edwards, quick throw. There's your first down and more. Into the end zone for the touchdown. Jamel Hamler on the converted 4th down, a 16-yard touchdown. And with 5:26 to go, the Birds an extra point away from taking the lead.
And Scott, just remind the viewers, that was a red zone touchdown. The Eagles struggled in the red zone, but that's a nice design of the play when receivers are stacked tight and they actually use picks. Here comes Hamler out. Nice throw by Edwards, because he gets it to him where he can now make these moves in the open field and then finish the play. So, couple big gains by some rookie free agent receivers in the second half for the Eagles tonight.
Well, the extra point attempt for the lead is Hamler. Gets all kinds of props heading over to the bench. 5:26 to go, and Trent Edwards leads his team down the field. And on a key 4th down play, the opportunity for Hamler to make something happen. It's the old Top Gun play. Hit the brakes, they'll fly right by.
Teams out. You can either start tight and then spread out, or you can start spread and spread the defense with you. That time the Eagles started with a stacked formation, and then they used natural picks. Like, watch, here's Gilliard, and then here comes Hamler off him, and then the same thing here with Tiger Jones going out there. It's really a good design of the play. Start tight, get wide, get the ball out quick. And then, you know, the key is the location of the ball by Edwards, get it to Hamler where he can finish the play. So, you know, the Eagles obviously last year struggled in the red zone. So you go, how do you fix it? Well, your play calling can be better. Your execution of the plays called can be better. That was an example of a well-designed play that was well executed.
Now it's up to the defense to put this one away with under 5.5 left to go. No return coming, and the Steelers will take it over at their own 20.
Well, one of the stars in the second half has been the Eagles' second-round pick out of Marshall, Vinny Curry, who's had a real explosive half. Here he is in the run game, meeting the ball carrier right at the handoff, but working both ends, playing off the blocks right now, getting into the offensive tackle, disengaging. Here he is, good penetration, dragging him down with one hand. Yeah. Well, you know what, Vinny? You deserve that attention right there. And we're giving it to you because that was a good debut by the second-round pick from Marshall.
On first down, Gerard Johnson it off. And David Paulson, the tight end, pickup of about 6 yards.
We'll take a look at Vinny Curry on this last play. Beat the tackle clean inside here. There he is. Anytime you get to the quarterbacks, gets to Jared Johnson, gets him down the ground. Now get up off the ground. Go chase the play. Good effort.
Jared Johnson firing, back shoulder throw, and it's complete. Tyler Byler.
What?
His name rhymes.
What?
Into Eagles territory, down to the 44.
Tyler Byler?
That's right.
You didn't make that up.
I did not.
Okay. Now, here's the play on the outside, and it's a perfect example of a back shoulder throw, Scott, like you mentioned. Really in that play, a bad job on the outside, just finding the football by DJ Johnson.
Flag down on the play, and Batch gets dropped after a gain of about a yard, but it looks like it's going against the Steelers.
Defense, number 93, offsides, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Like I said. Well, 93 is Jason Babbitt. If he's offside, then he's much more active tonight than we thought he was going to be.
Well, you know, that just going back to, there's Jason Babbitt. Jason Babin in street clothes right there. 18 sacks from a year ago. Incredible numbers put up when playing for Jim Washburn at both Tennessee and in his second stint here with the Eagles.
Steelers on the move after the Eagles have taken the lead. And Batch gets upended at the 36-yard line by Wade Bonner, the rookie out of Mississippi State.
Wade Bonner does a good job coming in here and making a good tackle, getting his head in there, flipping the. You play at Mississippi State, that means you're playing against Alabama, you're playing against Auburn, you're playing against the SEC, which is by far the best conference in America. If I was the head of scouting, I would have one guy that did nothing but SEC games every week, and I would know everything about every player from the day they leave high school.
They sure can produce players. Up through the middle, and that's going to result in a first down. King Jordan making the tackle, but the Steelers continue to move now with under 4 minutes left to go.
King Jordan right now is in his 7th season. He's just been kind of a jack-of-all-trade linebacker. A nickelback, weak side linebacker, pass rusher, special team ace. He's been a valuable member here for 7 years. Out of James Madison. Produce a guy that has been snubbed in my mind for the Hall of Fame a number of times, in Charles Haley. Guy that only had 5 Super Bowl rings.
And once again, it is Batch. And Barrett Batch down inside the 25-yard line before being stopped by Tom Nelson. Fans, check out the Bud Light Eagles Nest at Lincoln Financial Field. Go to PhiladelphiaEagles.com for more info on how you can win tickets. Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. They got the clock winding down now. They are well in field goal range.
Yeah. You wonder how close Mike Tomlin will let this team go before he puts his kicker out there with a chance to win the game.
Daniel Rapman has been the second half kicker for the Steelers. Don't know as much nearly about him as we do about Sean Sleezem.
He'd like to run this down to the 2-minute warning, and Jared Johnson doesn't like what he sees.
He calls for the timeout with 2:33 left to go. One left for the Steelers. Check that. I believe that might be their last. That is their last.
Well, the Eagles will kick off this year in Cleveland on September 9th, and kind of a quirk in the schedule this year. That's also their 3rd preseason game against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, so they'll be pretty familiar. But they play the AFC North this year, which in my mind is as tough as any division of football. And so the second week of the season, the Baltimore Ravens come to town, and of course, that's John Harbaugh. Spent a decade here with Andy Reid as the special teams and defensive back coach. The Eagles always seem to have struggled when they go out to Arizona to play. And then the world champ New York Giants is next. So, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a tough schedule, Scott. No question about it.
That run at Arizona, never easy to go across the country. Then you got Giants, Pittsburgh. After Detroit, you got Atlanta. And then the New Orleans Saints in that offense. Tough test in the first half of the season. And through the middle once again, Batch moves the chains. And that's going to get him another first down. Now down into the red zone. Vinny Curry with the tackle.
Philadelphia taking a timeout. They'd like to save as much time on the clock if Pittsburgh makes this field goal to go have a chance to go down and win the game.
Andy Reid with 2 timeouts available to him after that one.
That's a good timeout, though. Good use of it here. Trying to see what they can do if they can get the ball back. Trent Edwards thinking about the 2-minute drill if he gets a chance with the ball, if they should fall behind.
The all-new 2012 collection of Eagles gear featuring the Nike NFL collection is in. World's largest selection of Eagles merchandise now available at the Eagles Pro Shop, Eagles End Zone in Lancaster, and online at PhiladelphiaEagles.com.
Steelers will continue to try to run this ball here. Of course, Eagles
Not a whole lot, but not a whole lot expected at this point. Rather than just running the clock down as much as possible, the Eagles will take that next timeout.
Yeah, we'll take.
So 1 left for the Eagles. Of course, a 2-minute warning as well.
Well, the first half of the schedule we took a look at. Scott, let's take a look at the second half here. It starts against the Dallas Cowboys, who they beat twice last year, but they play the Cowboys twice within a month. And that game against Cam Newton is not going to be easy. I think that's a Monday night game. Cincinnati Bengals are on NFL Network on a Thursday night, so that's tough. You play at Tampa on Sunday, and then home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals, a playoff team from a year ago. And you finish at the New York Giants, and that always seems like it's for something. Playoff spot, playoff seeding.
Probably.
Of course, the Giants make a great run last year, Scott. They were 7-7 and played the New York Jets in Week 16. Won a game largely on a 99-yard pass play from Eli Manning to Victor Cruz, and they never looked back.
Got a flag down now.
Delay. Number 8 is offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
I'm sure the only person that really bothered, aside from perhaps Mike Tomlin, who doesn't like that kind of thing, had to have been Daniel Rappman, who's warming up saying, I didn't need an extra 5 yards on this field goal attempt.
You saw on the sideline there Todd Haley, the new offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers, replacing Bruce Arians. And Todd Haley, a former head coach with the Arizona Cardinals.
Kansas City Chiefs in the middle of last season. Back to the ground, more lost yardage. Making it a little bit tougher each time, all the way back to the 27.
Now you keep backing them up as much as you can.
And the quick timeout, the final timeout for the Eagles. That'll be it, but you're going to get the 2-minute warning after third down, a field goal attempt, so you're going to get some time if indeed a field goal attempt is good.
Yeah, so good penetration again. Seems like we talked an awful lot about this defensive line here tonight. That's Vinny Curry again right there. Just taking the offensive tackle right into the backfield. He's owned him tonight. So again, another big play by Curry. It's really an impressive debut by the one-time Conference USA Player of the Year and kid right here from the Jersey Shore at Neptune, New Jersey. I'm sure he's got all kinds of family here tonight looking on, so it's nice. It's a nice way to start.
It's got to be a huge night for him.
He'll be excited.
Even more excited if he could throw him for another loss here right now, knock him out of field goal range. He got a quick start. The play taken back to the middle down to about the 25. So that's going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Frank Trotter, the rookie out of Memphis, making the tackle. And the Steelers are going to get an opportunity to take the lead when we come back. Touchdown gave the Eagles the lead. They try to hang on now late here in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes to go. And Sean Sweezum, an accomplished kicker, giving way to Daniel Rappman, who's going to get an opportunity to try to give his team the lead. They're going to look back at how we got here in this ball game. Back in the first half, the Steelers controlling the ball, the clock, and scoring, it appeared, on that play at will. Then the defense stepping in to set them up again.
Well, mistake there by Mike Kafka led to an eventual field goal, and then in the second half, really the Eagles made their move, and it was with Nick Foles, who didn't take long. I mean, nice job here of stepping up in the pocket, finding Damaris Johnson, the diminutive rookie out of Tulsa, finishes the play, and then he gets one to Marty Gilliard, who seemed pretty happy catching his touchdown in his debut as an Eagle.
43-yard attempt for Rappman.
Drilled it.
Right on through. Tell you what, you're trying to make an impression in camp. That'll help.
That'll help. And not just with the Steelers, but around the league.
Yep.
I mean, that was dead solid. Perfect. So the Steelers take the lead. The Eagles with 1:57. No timeouts left. Trent Edwards will get a chance to take the Eagles down the field. and try to match that field goal or touchdown to win. Interesting to see who the Eagles have back there. There's Bobby April, the special teams coach, back returning this kick. Saw one really good return from Brandon Boykin tonight. You got, it looks like Damaris Johnson is going to get that chance. Great opportunity here for the Eagles to get some field position should he get a chance to return it, and then a chance to work on your 2-minute offense. Trent Edwards giving out instructions to his offensive line here.
Honestly, if you're Trent Edwards, you can't ask for a better opportunity for what you're trying to do right now.
No, you know, this is what you hope for. I mean, you don't want to be behind, you don't want to lose, but you want to show that you can still play in this league and you deserve, you know, to be a backup quarterback in this league. This is a great opportunity. And really, these games are a resume for the rest of the league as well.
Now, you know, somebody somewhere is going to need a quarterback before too long.
And these tapes all get watched by everybody. Every scouting department in the league is looking what everybody else has. I saw scouts from other teams upstairs here today, eyeballing the Eagles and the Steelers, looking at guys that may potentially be released before the start of the season.
So kicking away to the NCAA all-time leader in kick return yardage. And Damaris Johnson gets a running start inside his 5. Drop down outside the 20. A 16-yard return out to the 22, and Trent Edwards now going to have a minute 52, no timeouts to work with, and he's got to get him into field goal range.
Normally at this part of the field, the first play is some kind of a screen, check down, just get the ball out of Edwards' hands. Don't take a negative play and kind of try to build some momentum quickly here. Then you work the sidelines to get the ball out of bounds, and then eventually work in a position where you take a deep shot down the field.
Not good when you fall down out of the huddle.
Hamler has scored a touchdown a couple series ago.
He's to the near side. Edwards looking for him once again, and he's there. First down yardage, dancing out of bounds at the 33.
That's beautiful. That's good timing. Nice job by Hamler of catching that ball, snatching it out of the air, knowing exactly where he's at. And Edwards got this ball out of his hands on timing. Watch Hamler take this ball out of the air. It's nice. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock. That's a good first play in any 2-minute drill.
Jones, Hamler, and McKay Jacobson, the receivers to choose from for Edwards. With plenty of time. Running out of it. And running his way to first down yardage. Lost the helmet in the process, but he's all the way out to the 45-yard line.
See, now, by rule, he's supposed to come out of the game for a play when that happens. But we've already seen that they're not calling that right now.
Calling his play at the line with the clock moving and 1:23 to go. Looking left all the way, and there it is.
Nice.
That's going to be close to another first down. McKay Jacobson, the rookie out of BYU.
Sure.
Now you're only about 15 yards out of field goal range, maybe less.
Yeah, no need to rush right here. Plenty of time. Edwards wants to make sure everybody's got the play.
3 plays, 3 first downs.
Sprint right option.
And once again, it's Jacobson who gets out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 41-yard line.
Edwards is having a problem with his helmet. So, as he puts it back on, he gets the play.
Henry warming up on the sideline. He was banging from 55, 57 in pregame warmups.
He might become the best kicker in the league. I'm not jinxing him. He was 24-27 last year. He is excellent.
Edwards firing again, and it's nearly picked off.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, that's a saving play. Tiger Jones, I believe, saved the interception.
I think he hung on to it just enough where Victorian couldn't really grip it. But that ball floated too long going out to the outside. And that's really been a weakness of Edwards, was just arm strength from the pocket across the field like that.
So third down.
They need another 6 yards here, I think. Really be in good field position for the field goal.
Edwards running out of options. Taking it to the sideline. He got himself another couple of yards. But you're going to have fourth down right now, and you're going to have about a 56-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, I think you got to go for it. I think you got to put him out. Looks like the Eagles are going to go for it on 4th down. They've converted their last 4th down and try and probably look for a very similar play. Sprint right option. Get 2 receivers out there, try to get a little leverage and get the ball out to the sidelines to stop the clock.
Here's your ball game with 42 seconds left to go on 4th down. Remaining fans making all kinds of noise here at Lincoln Financial Field. The throw complete. First down yardage. Tiger Jones with a first down to the 33.
They should get up and just kill this. Just clock it, throw it to the ground. I don't think he has to run a play right here.
25 seconds, and they do clock it with 24 seconds left in the game.
Tiger Jones with the big catch. There we go. Good sure-handed catch with tight coverage. Made sure that he looked it all the way in to the hands there. Tiger Jones, that's huge. Giving up an opportunity to play in the Arena Bowl championship game on Friday night. Here he is tomorrow night in New Orleans. Catch maybe the biggest play of the game so far this year.
Edwards throwing and throws it away. Pressure was coming. He was going to get hit hard. He knew it. Adrian Robinson again right in the backfield. 19 seconds left to go.
Okay, so they have worked on this play here, Scott, where you need 16 seconds from the time of an end of a play to run your field goal team on to get set to kick the ball. So you're right, very on the cusp of being dangerous here if you complete this ball inbounds, where you may run out of time in order to kick the winning field goal.
And the key is you can't clock it, because if you're short of the first down, that's 4th down.
Exactly. So this is key. This ball's got to get to the out of bounds.
10th play of the drive. And there's your throw, and it's incomplete. 16 seconds left to play through the hands of Tiger Jones this time. And now you're going to get your field goal attempt.
I'd rather have him drop it than possibly catch this and stumble in bounds. You'd like to have that ball back. That's a well-thrown ball by Edwards and where it needs to be. Outside shoulder of the receiver trying to get out of bounds. So here it is.
That man who had the best percentage field goal accuracy in team history and the best for a rookie in the history of the NFL. Trying from 51 for what ostensibly would be a game winner. Lots of distance. It is good. "12 seconds to go, and the Eagles have the lead."
Wow, that was a nice drive, finished off by a clutch 51-yard game-winning field goal by Henry. And I tell you, Scott, this guy, they found themselves some gold in the draft last year with Henry. He's good.
10-play, 46-yard drive.
Well, for a preseason game, Scott, just had a little bit of drama tonight. A little excitement, a little drama all the way around. Look at that ball. That ball's right down the middle.
And good with an extra 5 yards to boot.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. Great feeling having everybody jump on you like that. Yeah, that feels good. Henry and Henry. There we go. Let the celebration begin. That's special for Andy Reid tonight. Nice hug by Deshaun.
That's about more than just a football game.
It's way more than a football game. That's the toughest week of Andy Reid's life. And really, that's why he's out here tonight with his family, giving them a lot of congratulations, but some deep hugs. Emotional night. Trent Edwards, nice job in the 2-minute drill. You said, Scott, it's important for him. That was well executed all the way around. He scrambled for that first down. He got down. He used the sidelines. He clocked the ball. He did everything right. Converted a 4th down throw. And then you go and talk about it, you know, with Mike Kafka over there.
Marquise Mays back deep to take this kick. Not going to be kicked deep. And remember, oh, there you got a flag. That's probably a hit you do not want to make.
Yeah, you got to learn from that. I think Nnamdi Asomugha said in one of his reviews that
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 88 of the kicking team, 15 yards, first down.
Elvis Akla.
Yeah, but Andy's like, that guy is not down. Because he falls, he's not down. It's not the college rule, it's the pro rule. So let's just see if when he picks this ball up, he could get up and run with that ball right now. All right, so he just finished the play. I don't know. Did he lead? Go for the head right here? Yeah, maybe hat to hat.
Might have been hat to hat.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, now they've got no timeouts. They've got 10 seconds. Got to get an opportunity at least for a play.
Hey, you know what's good practice in situational football here.
How far could Jared Johnson throw it?
He's going to look for one more play. Scott, okay, 4 seconds left in the game, and the Eagles, were celebrating. But these situations, these plays, you can't afford to lose a game ever in this type of situation. Hail Mary throw, we see it all the time, but you can't afford to lose it. It could be the difference between a playoff spot, not a playoff spot. So you get a chance to work on this here live in preseason and learn from it.
New England Patriots almost won the Super Bowl with a play exactly like this one right here.
Yep. Kind of almost hope these kind of situations come up in a preseason.
A lot of pressure coming. And the final sack of the night for Taylor puts an exclamation point on an Eagles victory here in preseason game number 1.
And it was a good night for the defensive line tonight, Scott. 7 sacks. Mike Vick, a huge scare in that first quarter, hitting his thumb on Jason Kelsey's helmet, but looks like he's going to be all right. Congratulatory hug all the way around. Mike Tomlin, of course, sending his admiration for Andy Reid. So good win for Andy and his team tonight. Nice play and performance by Vinny Curry.
Yeah, big night for a couple of the rookies. Foles, a big night as well. Next game at New England, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the 20th of August. As the Eagles get back at it for game number 2. As we said, next Thursday, the Eagles heading to New England for the nationally televised game against the AFC champion Patriots. Then we'll be right back here 2 weeks from tonight, August 24th, for the pivotal 3rd preseason game. Starters see heavy action against the Cleveland Browns. For Jeff Skversky, Brian Baldinger, I'm Scott Graham. Good night from Lincoln Financial Field, where the final score is the Eagles 24 and the Steelers 23. Good night, everybody.